Don't miss the awesome Naruto stories my sister creates. Her last channel was hacked, so to stay in the loop, please subscribe to her new channel. It would mean a lot to her, and you won't regret it. Dear Naruto Lemon fans, I'm inviting all of you to my Boosty channel. You know that YouTube doesn't exactly approve of this kind of content, so please subscribe to my paid subscription and enjoy Naruto Lemon scenes comfortably. There are different subscription tiers from Mini Lemon to God Lemon. Those who buy the Over Naruto Lemon and God Naruto Lemon, I'll mentions in the videos. Dare. Chapter 1, A Surprising Power-Up. The sun was shining brightly over the hidden leaf village as Naruto Uzumaki bounded through the training grounds, his usual exuberance on full display. Today, he was alone, something that didn't happen often given his lively nature and the constant company of his friends. It was the perfect opportunity to work on his skills without interruption. His excitement was palpable as he prepared for a new training regimen. Alright, today I'm going to push myself even harder, Naruto declared to himself, his voice filled with determination. He'd been training diligently to refine his techniques, and the prospect of improvement always energized him. His usual training routine involved a combination of basic jutsu practice, physical conditioning, and chakra control exercises. But today, Naruto had decided to add a new twist. Inspired by tales of great heroes and legendary warriors, he wanted to test himself in a way he hadn't before. He was going to attempt to harness the raw power he'd heard about in myths and stories, though he wasn't quite sure how he would do that, he was determined to find out. Naruto focused his chakra, channeling it through his body in the way he had learned from his past training. However, he decided to push it further, drawing on the residual energy from the nine tails that still resided within him. He could feel the power surging through him, a sensation he was becoming increasingly familiar with but had never experienced in such intensity. As he concentrated, Naruto began to feel a strange, unfamiliar energy radiating from him. It was as if his chakra was amplifying, transforming into something much more potent. His hair began to stand on end, and his aura flared up dramatically, glowing with a golden hue. What's happening to me? Naruto exclaimed, his eyes wide with surprise. He looked down at his hands and saw them surrounded by a bright, golden light. The sensation was overwhelming, and he felt a surge of strength unlike anything he'd ever experienced before. Without warning, the ground beneath him trembled, and the trees surrounding the training field started to shake. Naruto's newly acquired power had unintentionally caused a significant disturbance. The sheer energy of his transformation was affecting everything around him. Whoa! Naruto shouted as he tried to control the newfound power. But the more he tried to rein it in, the more chaotic the energy became. His training field was quickly turning into a scene of pandemonium. The shockwave from his outburst traveled through the village, reaching his friends who were nearby. Sakura Haruno and Sasuke Uchiha were in the middle of their own training session when they felt the disturbance. Sakura, did you feel that? Sasuke asked, looking around with a concerned expression. Yeah, Sakura replied, her eyes wide. It felt like it came from Naruto's direction. We need to check it out. The two teammates rushed towards the source of the disturbance, their curiosity and concern driving them forward. When they arrived at the training grounds, they were met with a sight that left them both speechless. Naruto was hovering a few feet above the ground, his golden aura still radiating uncontrollably. The landscape around him was in disarray, trees were uprooted, rocks were scattered, and the very earth seemed to be reacting to his power. What the heck is going on? Sakura gasped as she stared at the chaotic scene. Sasuke's eyes narrowed as he assessed the situation. It looks like Naruto's power has gone out of control. We need to help him before things get worse. Kakashi Hatake, who had been monitoring Naruto's training from a distance, arrived just in time to see the full extent of the mayhem. His usual calm demeanor was replaced with a look of astonishment. "Naruto! What in the world have you done?" Kakashi called out, trying to make himself heard over the roar of the energy surging around Naruto. Naruto looked down at his friends, his expression a mixture of excitement and anxiety. I don't know. I was just trying something new, and now everything's gone crazy." Kakashi approached cautiously, his Sharingan activated to better understand the situation. "Naruto, you've activated a power you're not familiar with. You need to calm down and focus if you want to regain control." Naruto nodded, his determination returning. He took a deep breath and began to concentrate on calming the energy inside him. With effort, he managed to start reigning in the golden aura, though it was a challenging process. The power fluctuated, occasionally flaring up but gradually becoming more controlled. Sakura and Sasuke watched with a mix of concern and awe. "I've never seen anything like this," Sakura said, her voice filled with wonder. Sasuke nodded, his competitive nature intrigued by Naruto's new abilities. "This could be a game changer. We need to understand this power better." As Naruto's aura began to stabilize, Kakashi approached him with a reassuring smile. "You did well, Naruto. It's going to take time to fully master this new power, but with training, you'll get there." Naruto grinned, his excitement returning. "Thanks, Kakashi-sensei. I can't wait to see what else I can do with this power." The training field was left in ruins, but Naruto's determination was stronger than ever. His friends gathered around him, ready to support him in harnessing his new abilities. Little did they know that this was just the beginning of a journey that would challenge them all in ways they had never imagined. Chapter 2, Training with a Twist. The sun rose over the Hidden Leaf Village, casting a warm golden hue across the rooftops. Naruto Uzumaki was already up and raring to go, fueled by excitement about mastering his new Super Saiyan abilities. Today was going to be different, today was about control. After his surprising power-up during the last training session, Naruto felt like he could take on the world. He was ready to harness that energy and refine it into something truly extraordinary. As he prepared his gear, he could hardly contain his enthusiasm. "Today's the day," he declared to himself, fist pumping the air. "I'm going to be the strongest ninja ever." He met up with his friends, Sakura Haruno and Sasuke Uchiha, at their usual training ground. The clearing was filled with the sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves, setting the perfect backdrop for their training. Kakashi Hatake, their ever-casual mentor, stood leaning against a tree, flipping through a book as if it were just another ordinary day. "Ready to train, Naruto?" Sakura asked, a smile on her face, though a hint of concern lingered in her eyes. "Just remember, you need to focus on control this time." Naruto nodded eagerly. "I know. I've got this. I'm going to master my Saiyan powers and show everyone what I can do." Kakashi finally looked up from his book, raising an eyebrow. "Just make sure you don't blow up the training ground again, Naruto. I'd like to keep my job as your sensei." With that, Naruto took a deep breath, focusing on his energy. He transformed into his Super Saiyan form, his hair spiking up and glowing a brilliant gold. He felt the power surge through him, exhilarating and electrifying. "Okay, first, I'll try to combine my Saiyan strength with my Shadow Clone Jutsu," Naruto exclaimed, determination radiating from him. He created dozens of clones, all of them glowing with the same golden aura. "Alright, clones. Let's show them what we can do." The clones rushed off to start various training exercises, each of them trying to showcase their strength. One clone attempted to lift a large boulder, channeling their Saiyan power, but instead ended up hurling it into the air, sending it crashing down onto another clone. "Whoops," that clone shouted just before it was flattened. The others laughed, and Naruto scratched the back of his head, chuckling. Okay, maybe not that strong yet. Focus, Naruto. Sakura called out, trying to contain her laughter. You need to control your strength. Naruto nodded and tried again. This time, he focused on controlling his energy while performing the Rasengan. As he gathered chakra in his hand, the orb of energy started to grow larger and larger until it became an enormous, glowing sphere. Rasengan, he shouted, but as he released it, the energy blasted out of control, creating a massive explosion that sent his clones flying in all directions. They landed in a heap, their forms collapsing in a shower of smoke. Maybe I should start with something smaller, Naruto said sheepishly, rubbing the back of his neck. Sasuke, smirking, suggested, why not try balancing your chakra while running? It's a fundamental skill for a ninja. Great idea. Naruto responded enthusiastically. I'll show you how fast I can be. He took off running, using the enhanced speed of his Super Saiyan abilities. However, as he tried to balance his chakra, he quickly found that controlling his energy while sprinting was more challenging than he anticipated. His speed caused him to lose focus, and soon, he was zigzagging uncontrollably. Whoa! Watch out, he shouted as he narrowly avoided crashing into a tree. Instead, he plowed straight through a small boulder, sending chunks of rock flying everywhere. Sakura sighed, exasperated but amused. Naruto, you're supposed to control it, not demolish everything in your path. Kakashi chuckled from his spot against the tree. At least he's consistent. Naruto, slightly embarrassed, tried again. This time, he focused on channeling his energy while running in a straight line. He gained speed, but then, out of sheer excitement, he decided to test his limits and accelerated further. Suddenly, he felt the ground give way beneath him, and he was propelled forward, launching himself over the training area and into the air. Here we go, he yelled as he soared up, only to lose control and crash into a pile of hay bales that had been set up for training purposes. The hay exploded around him, creating a cloud of straw that enveloped the area. Sasuke crossed his arms, shaking his head with a smirk. You really need to work on your control. Maybe I should just stick to what I know best, Naruto said, popping up from the hay with a grin, straw sticking out of his hair. Sakura couldn't help but laugh. At least you're entertaining. As the day wore on, Naruto continued to train, mixing his Saiyan strength with his ninja techniques. While there were many comedic mishaps, there were also moments of progress. He gradually learned to balance his energy and focus his abilities more effectively. By the end of the training session, Naruto was exhausted but exhilarated. He had faced numerous challenges and learned valuable lessons about control, all while keeping the atmosphere light and filled with laughter. As they wrapped up, Naruto turned to his friends, grinning widely. I may not be perfect yet, but I'm getting there. Just wait until I master these powers. Just try not to blow up the village next time, Sasuke quipped, rolling his eyes. Naruto laughed. No promises. With the sun setting on the horizon, the group shared a moment of camaraderie, their spirits high as they prepared for the challenges that lay ahead. Each misstep in training had only strengthened their bond, and together they would face whatever awaited them with humor and determination. Chapter 3, Revelations and Reactions. The Hidden Leaf Village was buzzing with activity. Whispers and rumors about Naruto's new Super Saiyan abilities had spread like wildfire. Everywhere you went, people were talking about the blonde ninja who had suddenly acquired godlike powers. Naruto, blissfully unaware of the extent of his impact, was enjoying a rare moment of peace, lounging under a tree and munching on his favorite ramen. Sakura Haruno, ever the concerned friend, approached with an unreadable expression. Naruto, we need to talk. Naruto looked up, slurping a noodle. What's up, Sakura? Can't you see I'm in the middle of enjoying some ramen here? This is important, she said, her tone serious. You need to know about the prophecy. Naruto blinked. Prophecy? What prophecy? Kakashi Hatake, who had been observing from a distance, finally joined the conversation, his usual lazy demeanor replaced with a rare seriousness. The prophecy of the legendary Super Saiyan. It's an ancient legend that speaks of a warrior with the power to reshape worlds. Naruto's eyes widened. Wait, you mean that's me? I'm the legendary Super Saiyan? Kakashi nodded. It seems so. And with this prophecy comes expectations, and responsibilities. Before Naruto could process this, the village's reactions began to unfold. At Ichiraku Ramen, Tucci and Ayam exchanged bewildered glances as Naruto's glowing hair and aura drew curious onlookers. Is that really Naruto? Tucci asked, squinting through the shop window. Ayam nodded, her eyes wide. It looks like it, but with that golden aura. He's like a different person. Meanwhile, in the village square, Ino Yamanaka and Choji Akimichi stood with mouths agape. Did you see Naruto? Ino asked, clearly excited. He's like a walking Super Saiyan. Choji, who was happily munching on chips, nodded vigorously. Yeah, I can't believe it. I mean, he's always been strong, but this is something else. Not far away, Shikamaru Nara leaned against a wall, looking bored but clearly intrigued. This is such a drag, he muttered, though he couldn't help but watch the spectacle unfold. But I guess it's kind of impressive. Meanwhile, Naruto's training ground became a hub of activity. The villagers were keen to see the new legendary Super Saiyan in action, and the area was packed with spectators. As Naruto continued to train, his friends and fellow villagers watched with a mix of awe and amusement. He attempted various techniques, often with hilarious results. When he tried to perform a basic Rasengan while in Super Saiyan form, the sheer power behind it caused a small crater, sending nearby villagers diving for cover. Oops! Naruto shouted, scratching the back of his head sheepishly. Maybe I need to work on that. Kakashi, standing beside him, shook his head with a bemused expression. It's going to take a lot of practice to get this right. The scene shifted to a meeting with the Hokage, Tsunade. As she reviewed reports on Naruto's new abilities, she couldn't help but smirk. I always knew he'd do something extraordinary, she said, shaking her head. But a legendary Super Saiyan? This is new. Naruto, ever enthusiastic, entered the room with a wide grin. So, what's the plan, Hokage? What do I do now? Tsunade looked at him, half amused and half exasperated. Well, for starters, you might want to learn to control that power before you accidentally destroy the village. We've got some ancient texts that might help. Naruto's eyes lit up. Ancient texts? Sounds like an adventure. As he left the Hokage's office, Naruto's thoughts were a whirlwind of excitement and determination. He was ready to embrace his role as the legendary Super Saiyan, no matter how challenging or unpredictable it might be. Meanwhile, back in the village square, the villagers continued to discuss Naruto's new persona. Some were excited, others were skeptical, but everyone agreed on one thing: Naruto had truly become a force to be reckoned with. And so, with the prophecy hanging over him and his new powers causing quite the stir, Naruto's journey as the legendary Super Saiyan had only just begun. Chapter 4, The Akatsuki's Curiosity. The Akatsuki's hidden base, a labyrinthine fortress concealed deep in the mountains, was bustling with activity. The members, each known for their formidable skills and dark ambitions, gathered in their dimly lit meeting room, awaiting the arrival of their leader, Nagato. The room was filled with the usual mix of brooding and intense conversation, but today, there was an undercurrent of curiosity and excitement. Have you heard? Itachi Uchiha asked, his voice carrying a tone of detached interest. Naruto Uzumaki has gained some extraordinary new abilities. Deidara, ever the artist, leaned forward with a spark of enthusiasm. Yeah, I saw some explosive reports about it. They say he's turned into a Super Saiyan. Sounds like a piece of art in the making, don't you think? Sasori, with his usual dispassion, merely shrugged. Super Saiyan? Whatever that is, it sounds like it could be a useful tool for our plans. We should investigate further. As if on cue, Nagato's figure appeared, his Rinnegan eyes glowing with a sense of purpose. So, Naruto's power has attracted the Akatsuki's attention. We should consider capturing him. His strength could be useful for our goals. The Akatsuki members nodded in agreement, each contemplating their role in this new plan. The meeting ended with a collective decision to observe and, if necessary, capture Naruto. Later that day, Naruto was in the middle of his daily training routine at his usual spot, a secluded clearing surrounded by trees. The sun was setting, casting a golden hue over the landscape. Naruto, in his Super Saiyan form, was practicing his energy control with a focus that only a ninja could muster. Alright, let's try this again, Naruto muttered, concentrating hard. He attempted a precise, controlled blast of energy. However, the result was far from what he intended. A massive explosion sent trees flying and created a dust cloud that enveloped the area. From the shadows, hidden within the forest, the Akatsuki members watched with a mix of amazement and frustration. Deidara, who had volunteered for this task, was unimpressed. This is going to be harder than I thought. I'm not sure how we're supposed to capture him with all this chaos. Toby, who had been more curious than most, clapped his hands together with a grin. Why don't we try a diversion? You know, something flashy and distracting. Without further ado, Toby's plan unfolded. He and Deidara set up an elaborate trap involving an array of flashy explosives designed to attract Naruto's attention. The setup was intricate, with colorful explosions and smoke bombs meant to create a chaotic spectacle. As the traps were triggered, Naruto's attention was drawn. He watched in bemusement as the forest around him erupted in a cacophony of lights and sounds. Is someone trying to play a prank on me? Naruto mused, raising an eyebrow. Unperturbed, Naruto decided to turn the tables. He powered up and, with a wave of his hand, sent a wave of energy that dispersed the smoke and extinguished the explosions with a single burst. The Akatsuki members, who had been carefully concealed, were now caught in the open. Deidara's eyes widened in shock. This wasn't part of the plan. Toby, trying to stay upbeat despite the failure, attempted a different approach. Hey, Naruto. Why don't you come over here and have some fun with us? Naruto, now fully aware of their presence, couldn't help but laugh. So, you're the ones causing all this trouble? You've got a pretty wild sense of humor. Sensing that their approach was futile, the Akatsuki members decided to retreat. They were no match for Naruto's newfound powers and were only making fools of themselves in the process. As they regrouped, Nagato's frustration was evident. We underestimated him. This is going to be more difficult than anticipated. Back in the village, Naruto continued his training, oblivious to the chaos he had just caused. He enjoyed a well-deserved break, grabbing a quick snack and chatting with his friends. Sakura joined him, looking concerned but relieved. I heard there was a commotion. Everything all right? Naruto, grinning broadly, replied, yeah, just some people trying to mess with me. Nothing I couldn't handle. Sakura shook her head with a mix of exasperation and amusement. You really do have a knack for attracting trouble, don't you? Naruto's laughter echoed through the clearing, as he took another bite of his ramen. Little did he know, the Akatsuki's attempts to capture him were just beginning, and the misadventures would only grow more unpredictable from here. Chapter 5, Training Day Gone Wrong. The sun was barely peeking over the horizon when Naruto's friends gathered for another round of training. It was clear that Naruto needed to learn how to control his newfound Super Saiyan powers, and his friends were more than willing to help. What they didn't expect was that the training would turn into a series of comedic disasters. Sakura Haruno, who had taken it upon herself to help Naruto master his control, started the day with a confident attitude. Alright, Naruto. We're going to start with some basic exercises. First up, chakra control. Naruto, bubbling with enthusiasm, nodded vigorously. Got it. I'll show you how good I am. Sakura demonstrated a series of precise chakra control techniques. Naruto attempted to replicate them but, with his Super Saiyan aura flaring uncontrollably. The results were less than ideal. The first attempt resulted in Naruto accidentally blowing a small tree into splinters, sending the scattered debris flying in all directions. Oops. Naruto said sheepishly, rubbing the back of his head. Guess I got a bit carried away. Kakashi Hatake, watching from the sidelines, decided it was his turn to step in. Alright, let's try some basic taijutsu techniques. I'll help you focus on your movements. Kakashi demonstrated a few moves with his usual grace, then turned to Naruto. Your turn. Naruto, in his eagerness, tried to mimic the moves but his Saiyan strength caused everything to go awry. Instead of performing a clean kick, Naruto accidentally kicked a boulder into the air, which then crashed down and flattened a nearby training post. Sorry about that. Naruto called out, while Kakashi, with his usual calm demeanor, sighed and dusted himself off. It seems like we might need a new training strategy. Next up was Sasuke Uchiha, who decided to take a different approach. Let's try some advanced techniques. I'll use my Sharingan to guide you. Sasuke demonstrated a series of high-speed techniques, expecting Naruto to follow suit. However, Naruto's attempt resulted in a series of chaotic, exaggerated movements. Every time he tried to perform a jutsu, it ended with him crashing into obstacles or causing minor explosions. What's the point of training if you're just going to blow everything up? Sasuke said, exasperated. You're supposed to control your power, not destroy the training grounds. Naruto, looking apologetic, scratched his head. I'm really trying. It's just hard to keep everything in check. Finally, it was Sai's turn. Let's try something different, he suggested, pulling out his drawing supplies. I'll use my art to help you visualize your power control. Sai began to draw various diagrams and techniques, but Naruto's enthusiasm and sheer energy soon overwhelmed his artistic efforts. With every gesture Naruto made, Sai's drawings became smudged or torn apart by the sheer force of Naruto's aura. Maybe this wasn't the best idea, Sai said, looking at the remnants of his artwork with a resigned expression. The day continued with a series of comedic mishaps. From exploding training posts to chaotic jutsu attempts, the training sessions were a roller coaster of laughter and frustration. Despite their best efforts, Naruto's friends found themselves frequently dodging debris and trying to keep their patience intact. As the sun began to set, the group gathered around a makeshift campfire, exhausted but in high spirits. Naruto, sitting in the middle with a sheepish grin, looked at his friends. Thanks, everyone. I know I'm a bit of a mess right now, but I really appreciate all the help. Sakura, wiping dust from her clothes, smiled. We'll get there. It's just going to take some time. Kakashi nodded in agreement. And a lot of patience. Sasuke, though still somewhat annoyed, added, just try not to blow everything up next time. Sai, finally managing a smile, said, and maybe keep the artwork out of the way. As laughter filled the air, Naruto realized that even though the training day had been chaotic, he was lucky to have such supportive friends. With their help, he was determined to master his Super Saiyan abilities, no matter how many training sessions it took. And so, with a promise to improve and a newfound appreciation for his friend's patience, Naruto prepared himself for the challenges ahead, knowing that together they would overcome whatever came their way. Chapter 6, The First Encounter. The Hidden Leaf Village had barely settled into its routine when word arrived of an Akatsuki member making their way towards the village. Naruto, still adjusting to his Saiyan abilities, was eager to put them to the test. The opportunity to face off against a real threat was just what he needed to refine his powers and prove his worth. The Akatsuki member in question was Haiden, the immortal maniac who thrived on causing chaos. With his eccentric behavior and strange rituals, Haiden was a perfect match for Naruto's unpredictable new powers. As Haiden approached the village with his usual air of arrogance, he was met by Naruto, who was more than ready for a fight. "Hey, you're the one making all the noise," Naruto called out, his Super Saiyan aura flaring uncontrollably. "What's your deal?" Haiden grinned maniacally, twirling his weapon. "I'm here to have some fun, kid. And you're just in time." Naruto, full of energy, launched into action. He attempted to use a powerful energy blast but, lacking control, the attack veered wildly off course. It struck a nearby rock, causing a massive explosion that sent dust and debris flying. "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" Naruto shouted, trying to steady himself. "I've gotta work on aiming." Haiden, unfazed by the display of raw power, started his ritualistic chant. "This is where you meet your end." Naruto, not fully understanding the danger of Haiden's rituals, decided to take a more direct approach. He charged at Haiden with a flurry of punches and kicks. His movements were fast and powerful, but his Saiyan strength caused him to inadvertently create shockwaves that threw off his precision. Haiden tried to retaliate with his signature technique, attempting to strike Naruto with his curse technique. However, Naruto's energy bursts created unpredictable effects. Each time Haiden tried to land a hit, Naruto's unsteady movements sent him flying into comical situations, like crashing into trees or inadvertently launching himself into the air. "Hey, what are you doing?" Naruto yelled as he tried to regain his balance. "You're supposed to be fighting, not setting up a circus." Haiden, slightly irritated but still amused, tried to land a hit on Naruto. His attempts were repeatedly thwarted by Naruto's erratic energy blasts, which created amusing explosions and surprise outcomes. One moment, Haiden was dodging a blast that seemed to come from nowhere, and the next, he was caught in a cloud of dust from Naruto's overpowered punch. "Come on, you can't keep dodging forever," Haiden taunted. "Face me like a warrior." Naruto, still grappling with control, decided to try a more straightforward approach. He charged at Haiden with a high-speed attack but instead of hitting his target, he ended up zooming past and crashing into a nearby boulder. "Ouch. Okay, maybe not that straightforward," Naruto said, dusting himself off. "I think I need a bit more practice." Haiden, seizing the opportunity, attempted to strike Naruto while he was down. However, Naruto's instinctive Saiyan reflexes kicked in, and he rolled out of the way, causing Haiden to stumble and fall into a comedic heap. "I guess it's not all bad," Naruto said with a grin. "Even when I mess up, things still seem to work out." The fight continued with Naruto's Saiyan abilities creating a series of unpredictable and humorous outcomes. Each of Naruto's powerful energy blasts or fast movements had a surprising effect on Haiden, who found himself increasingly baffled and frustrated. Despite the chaotic nature of the battle, Naruto managed to land a few solid hits, thanks to his friend's earlier training and his own growing control over his powers. Haiden, realizing that Naruto's unpredictable attacks were starting to take their toll, decided it was time to retreat. "You're not bad, kid," Haiden said, recovering from his fall. "But this isn't over." With a final dramatic flourish, Haiden vanished in a puff of smoke, leaving Naruto standing in the middle of the battlefield, panting but triumphant. "Well, that was something," Naruto said, looking around at the mess he'd made. "I guess I still need a bit of work, huh?" As he walked back to the village, his friends greeted him with a mix of relief and amusement. Sakura, who had watched the battle unfold from a distance, couldn't help but laugh. "You certainly have a unique way of handling things, Naruto." Kakashi, shaking his head with a smile, added, "Well, at least you managed to fend him off. We'll just need to work on your aim and control." Sasuke, raising an eyebrow, said, "Next time, try not to blow everything up, okay?" Naruto grinned, feeling a mix of pride and determination. "Got it. I'll keep working on it." As the sun set over the Hidden Leaf Village, Naruto reflected on the day's events. His first encounter with the Akatsuki had been a wild and unpredictable experience. But it had also shown him the power of his Saiyan abilities and the importance of mastering them. With his friends by his side and his resolve strengthened, Naruto was ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. Chapter 7, Rivalries and Reconciliations. The sun was setting over the Hidden Leaf Village, casting long shadows across the training grounds where Naruto was busy practicing his Super Saiyan abilities. His fiery aura flickered with intensity as he focused on perfecting his latest move. The tranquil atmosphere was abruptly interrupted by a familiar, brooding figure. Sasuke Uchiha had returned. Naruto, sensing the familiar presence, turned and grinned widely. "Sasuke. You're back." Sasuke, with his usual stoic expression, nodded. "I heard about your new powers. I wanted to see them for myself." Naruto's grin widened, his eyes sparkling with competitive excitement. "You're just in time. I'm about to show off a new technique." Sasuke raised an eyebrow, his interest piqued. "Let's see what you've got." Naruto took a deep breath and powered up, his aura flaring with golden energy. He launched into a high-speed series of attacks, his movements a blur of strength and speed. Sasuke watched with a mix of curiosity and skepticism. "Not bad," Sasuke said, his Sharingan activated to track Naruto's movements. "But let's see how you handle this." Sasuke quickly shifted into action, using his lightning-fast techniques to counter Naruto's attacks. The two engaged in a high-speed battle, their moves a mix of intense combat and playful jabs. Naruto's Saiyan abilities led to some unexpected and comedic outcomes as his energy blasts went awry, causing explosions and sending debris flying. During one particularly wild exchange, Naruto attempted a powerful energy wave, only for it to ricochet off a nearby rock and hit a tree instead. The tree toppled over, crashing into a boulder and causing a small landslide. Naruto stared wide-eyed at the destruction, while Sasuke snickered. "Careful there, Naruto. You might level the entire training ground," Sasuke teased. Naruto chuckled, rubbing the back of his head. "Guess I need to work on my aim." Their battle continued, with Naruto's enthusiasm and Saiyan power causing both impressive displays and hilarious mishaps. At one point, Naruto tried to show off his strength by lifting a massive rock, only for his increased power to make him lose balance and drop the rock on his own foot. "Ouch!" Naruto yelped, hopping around on one foot while Sasuke laughed heartily. "You're a real piece of work," Sasuke said, still chuckling. "But it's good to see you're still the same Naruto." Naruto grinned, his eyes shining with determination. "You know it. I'm just having a bit of fun with these new powers. But I'm ready for anything." As the sun dipped below the horizon, the training grounds were filled with the sounds of laughter and friendly banter. Sasuke, though initially intrigued by Naruto's new abilities, found himself enjoying the light-hearted rivalry and the chance to reconnect with his old friend. After their training session, Sasuke and Naruto sat together, their breaths coming in satisfied gasps. The playful competitiveness had brought them closer, rekindling their friendship. "You've come a long way, Naruto," Sasuke said, a rare smile on his face. "It's good to see you're still pushing yourself, even with these new powers." Naruto nodded, his expression earnest. "Thanks, Sasuke. It means a lot to hear that from you. I'm just trying to make the most of everything and keep moving forward." Sasuke glanced at Naruto, a hint of his old self showing through. "Just don't get too carried away. We still have a lot to deal with." Naruto laughed. "You got it. And don't worry, I'll make sure to save some of my power for our next battle." Their rivalry had transformed into a genuine camaraderie, marked by playful challenges and mutual respect. As they left the training grounds, the evening air was filled with the promise of future adventures and the joy of rekindled friendship. For Naruto and Sasuke, the path ahead was clear. They would face it together, with their rivalry now serving as a testament to their enduring bond and shared determination. Chapter 8: An Unlikely Alliance. The sun had just begun to set over the hidden leaf village, casting long shadows that stretched across the training grounds. Naruto, exhausted from yet another intense session of trying to master his newfound Super Saiyan powers, was on his way to meet with his friends for some much-needed rest. But as he approached the familiar training field, he noticed something unusual, a small portal crackling with vibrant energy, right in the middle of the clearing. Before Naruto could fully comprehend what was happening, a figure stepped out of the portal. The newcomer was unlike anyone Naruto had ever seen, a tall, wiry man with bright blue hair, wearing a colorful patchwork of mismatched clothing that looked like it came straight from a circus. The stranger carried a staff topped with a glowing orb and wore a pair of round spectacles that seemed far too large for his face. The man glanced around, taking in the sight of the hidden leaf village with wide, curious eyes. He spotted Naruto and grinned broadly, as if encountering a long-lost friend. "Ah! You must be the famous Naruto Uzumaki. I've heard so much about you," he exclaimed, his voice carrying an oddly musical lilt. Naruto raised an eyebrow, unsure of what to make of this eccentric figure. Yeah. That's me. Who are you?" "I'm Korik, a wandering sage from the dimension of Eldoria. I've come to help you with your Saiyan powers," Korik declared with a flourish of his staff. Naruto blinked in confusion. "Wait, you're from another dimension? And you know about Saiyan powers?" Korik nodded enthusiastically. "Indeed. I specialize in interdimensional energy manipulation. I've been tracking your exploits and thought I might lend a hand. Or, rather, a staff." Naruto scratched his head. "Alright, Korik. Let's see what you've got. But fair warning, my training sessions are a bit chaotic." Korik's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Perfect. Chaos is my specialty." The training session began with Naruto trying to demonstrate his Saiyan powers while Korik observed with a keen eye. However, things quickly spiraled into comedic chaos. Korik's unconventional methods included using his staff to generate bizarre energy fields that seemed to do everything from turning rocks into rubber balls to creating swirling vortexes of confetti. At one point, Naruto was mid-transformation, glowing with Super Saiyan energy, when Korik accidentally activated a gravity amplifier function on his staff. The sudden increase in gravity had Naruto stumbling and crashing into a pile of soft cushions, his hair still glowing but now comically drooping as if weighed down by an invisible force. Korik rushed over, concern etched on his face. "Oh dear. I didn't mean for that to happen. Let me try something else." He waved his staff, and the gravity returned to normal, but not before Naruto had made a rather undignified attempt to extricate himself from the cushion pile. Korik?" Naruto said, brushing confetti from his hair. "Maybe we should stick to more traditional methods?" Korik's cheeks flushed with embarrassment, but he quickly recovered. "Of course. Traditional it is. But remember, the path to mastery is paved with many, peculiar steps." As the days went by, Naruto and Korik's training sessions became a blend of intense practice and hilarious mishaps. Despite the frequent chaos, Naruto found himself learning valuable lessons about control and energy manipulation, even if it was through a series of unconventional methods and comical blunders. Their partnership continued to develop, with Korik's odd but effective techniques complementing Naruto's training in unexpected ways. The villagers watched with a mix of amusement and curiosity as the dynamic duo carried on, their sessions becoming a local spectacle that had everyone eagerly awaiting the next installment. By the end of their latest session, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky turned shades of orange and pink, Naruto and Korik stood side by side, both grinning from ear to ear. Despite the mess and mayhem, Naruto had gained new insights into his powers, and Korik had made a new friend in the process. Not bad for a couple of misfits, huh? Naruto said with a laugh. Korik chuckled, adjusting his oversized spectacles. Indeed. Here's to many more adventures and, hopefully, fewer incidents of spontaneous gravity changes. As they parted ways, Naruto couldn't help but feel a renewed sense of excitement and optimism. With an unlikely ally by his side, the journey ahead promised to be filled with even more unpredictability and humor. Chapter 9, The Akatsuki's Plan Unfolds. The Hidden Leaf Village was buzzing with activity as usual. Children played in the streets, merchants called out their wares, and the village's ninja trained diligently. Yet, beneath this surface of normalcy, the Akatsuki was quietly scheming their next move. With Naruto's new Super Saiyan powers drawing more attention, their plan to capture him had become more urgent and elaborate. The scene opens in a dimly lit cave where the Akatsuki members, gathered around a large map of the Hidden Leaf Village, are deep in discussion. Their leader, Pain, stood at the head of the table, his expression as unreadable as ever. Now that Naruto has become a Super Saiyan, Pain began, his capture is of the utmost importance. We must devise a strategy that will ensure his defeat and retrieval. Kakuzu, always the pragmatic one, scowled. His new power makes him even more unpredictable. We need a foolproof plan. Haydn, who was impatiently twirling his weapon, interjected with a mischievous grin. Why don't we just send a bunch of us at him all at once? That ought to do the trick. Kisame smirked, leaning on his sword. That's a terrible idea, Haydn. If we did that, he'd probably end up blowing us all away in one shot. Deidara, ever the artist, suggested, how about an elaborate trap? We could lure him in with a fake mission or something. As the group debated, Naruto and his friends were enjoying a rare moment of peace. They gathered at Ichiraku Ramen, celebrating their recent success and discussing the upcoming training session with Korik. This ramen is amazing as always, Naruto said, slurping down a bowl with gusto. Sakura, who was sitting across from him, rolled her eyes but smiled. Glad to see you're still eating like a teenager, Naruto. You're gonna need all the energy you can get. Suddenly, a messenger bird landed on the table, carrying an urgent note. Naruto took the note and read it aloud. It's a warning from the village's intelligence network. They've detected increased Akatsuki activity. The group's mood shifted immediately. Looks like the Akatsuki are up to something, Sasuke said, his tone serious. We should stay alert. Meanwhile, the Akatsuki's plan was in motion. They had set up a complex series of traps throughout the village, disguised as everyday objects. The traps ranged from oversized, comically shaped explosives to elaborate decoys designed to confuse and mislead. Deidara had set up a series of artistic bombs in the village square, each one shaped like an extravagant sculpture. These beauties will catch him off guard, he said with pride. Haydn and Kakuzu, on the other hand, were disguised as traveling merchants selling peculiar, magical items. Their setup included enchanted potions that were actually harmless but looked convincing. As Naruto and his team made their way through the village, they encountered the first of the Akatsuki's traps, a large, glittering sculpture in the middle of the square. Naruto approached it, curiosity piqued. Whoa, check this out, he said, examining the bizarre art piece. It looks like it's about to explode. Before anyone could react, the sculpture suddenly erupted in a burst of confetti and streamers. The entire square was filled with a colorful mess, and Naruto and his friends were covered head to toe in glitter. Sakura laughed despite herself. Well, I guess we know it's not dangerous. Yeah, but it's going to take forever to clean this up, Naruto said, trying to wipe glitter from his eyes. Elsewhere, the fake merchants tried to sell their magical items to unsuspecting villagers. The villagers, however, were not easily fooled. "This potion just tastes like plain water," one villager exclaimed, spitting it out. Kakuzu, frustrated by the lack of sales, muttered, "Maybe we should have gone with the explosive sculptures." As the day progressed, Naruto and his team continued to thwart the Akatsuki's increasingly ludicrous traps. They encountered more bizarre contraptions, including a giant, inflatable creature designed to scare them off. The creature, however, deflated as soon as it was hit by a single kunai. The final trap was a complex maze designed to confuse Naruto and his friends. Inside, they faced a series of comedic challenges, such as dancing floor panels and walls that squirted harmless streams of water. Each obstacle seemed more absurd than the last, leaving Naruto and his team in stitches as they navigated the maze. "Is this supposed to be an Akatsuki trap or a carnival funhouse?" Naruto asked, laughing as he slipped through a water-squirting wall. Eventually, they reached the end of the maze, only to find themselves face to face with a group of Akatsuki members who had been watching the entire spectacle from behind the scenes. Pain, observing the chaos, couldn't help but feel a pang of frustration mixed with amusement. "Perhaps we underestimated him," Pain said, shaking his head. "Naruto's unpredictability is proving to be more of a challenge than anticipated." As the Akatsuki members retreated, Naruto and his friends celebrated their victory with a mix of relief and amusement. "Well, that was a wild day," Sasuke said, looking at the mess they had made of the village. Naruto grinned. "Yeah, but we managed to handle it. Thanks to Korik's training, we were able to stay one step ahead." As the sun set over the Hidden Leaf Village, the team prepared for the next challenge. They knew that the Akatsuki would not give up easily, but with their newfound skills and teamwork, they felt ready to face whatever came their way. Chapter 10, Trouble in Paradise. The Hidden Leaf Village had settled back into its usual rhythm after the chaotic series of traps set by the Akatsuki. Naruto and his friends had taken a well-deserved break, enjoying a rare day off. The sun shone brightly, and the village bustled with activity as usual. Naruto was wandering through the market with Sakura and Sai, enjoying some snacks and the pleasant weather. He was in high spirits, his newfound powers making him feel invincible. "Hey, Naruto," Sakura said, nudging him. "You seem even more cheerful than usual. What's up?" Naruto grinned widely, puffing out his chest. "It's these Saiyan powers, Sakura. I feel like I could take on the world." As they walked, Naruto's aura inadvertently flared up, causing a sudden gust of wind that knocked over several market stalls. The villagers looked around in confusion, their peaceful day disrupted by the unexpected whirlwind. "What's going on?" Sai asked, looking at Naruto with concern. "Did you do that?" Naruto scratched his head, trying to suppress his energy. Yeah. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to cause a scene." At that moment, a commotion erupted from the edge of the market. A group of villagers had gathered around a mysterious figure who was dressed in flashy, extravagant clothing. The figure was none other than a traveling circus performer, who had come to showcase his magic to the village. "Step right up, folks," the performer announced, holding up a large, colorful wand. "Prepare to be amazed by my extraordinary feats." The performer's elaborate show included illusions and tricks that were intended to dazzle the crowd. However, when Naruto's aura flared up again, the circus performer misinterpreted it as part of his own act. "Behold," the performer shouted, waving his wand dramatically. "The power of the magical wind." He began to perform increasingly extravagant tricks, each one more over the top than the last. He summoned clouds of confetti, made fake lightning bolts, and even attempted to levitate himself with his wand. The crowd watched in bewilderment, unsure if the performer was really that skilled or if something else was at play. Meanwhile, Naruto's attempts to tone down his energy only made things worse. Every time he tried to control his power, his Saiyan aura inadvertently interacted with the performer's magic. creating a series of amusing and chaotic effects. "Whoa, look at that," a child exclaimed as a cloud of confetti turned into a flurry of sparkling lights. The circus performer, convinced that he was creating magical phenomena, took credit for the unexpected displays. "Marvel at my magic, everyone. I've never seen anything like it before." Sakura and Sai watched in disbelief as Naruto tried to stifle his laughter. "This is turning into quite a show," Sakura said, shaking her head. As the performer continued to show off, a group of overly enthusiastic tourists arrived in the village. They were captivated by the spectacle and began taking photos and videos, believing they had stumbled upon a rare and magical event. "What a find," one tourist exclaimed. "This village is truly full of wonders." Naruto, now thoroughly embarrassed, tried to sneak away from the scene. However, his Saiyan aura was still flaring uncontrollably, causing nearby objects to float or spin wildly. The tourists mistook this for part of the performance and started cheering even louder. "Ladies and gentlemen," the circus performer declared, "prepare for the grand finale." With a flourish, the performer attempted his biggest trick yet, a massive explosion of fireworks. However, Naruto's uncontrolled energy caused the fireworks to launch prematurely, filling the sky with colorful bursts that looked nothing short of spectacular. The villagers, now used to the strange occurrences, watched with mixed feelings of amusement and confusion. The circus performer, sensing that the crowd was enjoying the show, took a dramatic bow. thank you," he shouted. "You've all been wonderful. Remember to tell your friends about my magical performance." As the crowd dispersed, Naruto, Sakura, and Sai finally managed to slip away from the chaotic scene. They made their way to a quieter part of the village, where Naruto slumped against a wall, looking both relieved and mortified. "Sorry about that," Naruto said sheepishly. "I didn't mean to steal the show." Sakura patted him on the back. "It's okay, Naruto. Just try to keep your aura in check next time. We don't need any more accidental performances." Sai, who had been quietly observing, added, "At least you managed to entertain the village, even if it wasn't intentional." As they continued their walk, Naruto's mood brightened again. "You know, maybe being a Super Saiyan isn't so bad after all. Even if it does lead to a little chaos now and then." Sakura laughed. "Well, just make sure the next time you decide to perform, it's not in front of an entire crowd." Naruto grinned, his spirits high despite the unexpected events. The village may have experienced a bit of trouble, but Naruto's energy and enthusiasm continued to bring both laughter and excitement to those around him. Little did they know that this was just the beginning of many more humorous and unexpected encounters to come. Chapter 11, The Villain's Monologue. The Hidden Leaf Village was unusually quiet. The villagers were on edge, their unease palpable. News had spread that the Akatsuki had a new plan, and rumors swirled about an impending threat. As tension mounted, Naruto and his friends, including Sakura, Sai, and Kakashi, gathered at the village square to discuss their strategy. Without warning, a swirling portal opened in the center of the square, and out stepped the Akatsuki's newest member, a flamboyantly dressed villain named Malvado. His outfit was an extravagant blend of dark colors and sparkles, making him look like a theatrical performance gone wrong. Malvado struck a dramatic pose, his cloak billowing as if caught in a tempest. He held a long, ornate staff that glowed ominously. With a booming voice, he began his villainous monologue. "Behold, denizens of this humble village. I am Malvado, the master of shadows and the bringer of despair. You stand on the precipice of annihilation, for my grand plan is now set into motion. The world shall tremble under the weight of my supreme power." Naruto, standing at the front with his friends, couldn't help but stifle a laugh. Sakura shot him a warning look, but it was clear that Naruto found the whole scene rather amusing. Malvado continued, unfazed by the lack of reaction. "I have harnessed the ancient dark arts to summon forth a colossal army of monstrous minions. With these forces, I shall overthrow the Hokage and claim dominion over all nations. Prepare to witness the downfall of your world. As Malvado waxed lyrical about his diabolical plans, Sai leaned over to Naruto and whispered, "Does he always have to make it sound so dramatic?" Naruto nodded, trying to suppress his grin. "It's like he's reading from a bad script or something." Sakura rolled her eyes. "Let's just try to stay focused." Malvado's voice grew even more theatrical. "And now, as the final act of my nefarious scheme, I shall unveil the ultimate weapon. The Shadow Nexus Cannon, a device of unimaginable destruction." The villain dramatically unveiled a bizarre contraption that looked like a cross between a steampunk airship and a giant cannon. It emitted an eerie, purple glow and emitted occasional bursts of sparks. Kakashi, who had been observing with a skeptical eye, finally spoke up. "I'm impressed. It's not every day you see a villain with such an elaborate setup. But is it just me, or does that cannon look like it was cobbled together from garage sale leftovers?" Malvado's face contorted in irritation. "How dare you mock the grandeur of my invention? This weapon will obliterate your defenses and pave the way for my reign." Naruto, unable to contain his amusement, stepped forward with a wide grin. "Wow, Malvado. That's quite the speech you've got there. But you know, if you're trying to be scary, maybe tone down the sparkles? They're kind of, well, sparkly." Sakura snickered. "And the staff? It looks like it was borrowed from a magician's assistant." Malvado's eyes narrowed, but he continued his monologue, trying to maintain his menacing composure. "You dare to jest in the face of impending doom? Your insolence shall be your undoing. Prepare for the wrath of the Shadow Nexus Cannon." Sai, ever the observer, added dryly, "You know, most villains would just attack instead of spending so much time talking. But I suppose if you're this flashy, you've got to make sure everyone notices." As Malvado continued his tirade, the villagers began to emerge from their hiding spots, their curiosity piqued by the commotion. They watched with a mix of amusement and concern as the villain ranted about his plans for world domination. Naruto, still grinning, decided it was time to put an end to the villain's over-the-top performance. "Hey, Malvado. How about we skip the rest of the monologue and get to the part where we kick your butt?" Malvado's eyes widened in shock. "You insolent." Before he could finish, Naruto and his friends leaped into action. Kakashi used his Sharingan to anticipate Malvado's moves, Sakura and Sai launched coordinated attacks, and Naruto powered up with his Saiyan abilities. The battle that ensued was a whirlwind of energy blasts, ninja techniques, and chaotic interactions. Malvado, caught off guard by their sudden assault, tried to activate his Shadow Nexus cannon. However, the weapon malfunctioned, causing it to sputter and emit harmless puffs of smoke instead of the feared destructive power. Amidst the chaos, Naruto couldn't help but let out a loud laugh. "Nice cannon you've got there, Malvado. Looks like it's only good for smoke signals." Frustrated and humiliated, Malvado tried to regain control of the situation, but Naruto and his friends were relentless. With their combined efforts, they quickly overpowered him and neutralized the threat. As the dust settled, Naruto and his friends stood victorious. The villagers, who had watched the entire spectacle, erupted in cheers and applause. Even as they celebrated their success, the memory of Malvado's dramatic monologue and the ensuing chaos became a favorite topic of conversation. Naruto turned to his friends with a grin. "Well, that was fun. I guess sometimes the best way to deal with villains is to just let them talk themselves into trouble." Sakura laughed. "Definitely. And next time, let's hope our enemies stick to a shorter script." As they walked away, the village returned to its peaceful state. And the tale of Malvado's over-the-top villainy became yet another amusing chapter in Naruto's ongoing adventures. Chapter 12, The Unexpected Mentor. The sun was beginning its descent, casting a warm, golden hue over the Hidden Leaf Village. After the recent skirmish with Malvado and the Akatsuki, Naruto knew he needed to step up his training to better control his Saiyan abilities. It was then that he received a tip about a mysterious figure rumored to be a master of unconventional techniques. Naruto, ever eager for new training methods, set off to find this enigmatic mentor. He ventured into the outskirts of the village, where dense foliage and overgrown paths hinted at the mentor's secluded dwelling. After a bit of searching, Naruto stumbled upon a peculiar hut. It was adorned with strange symbols and decorated with an assortment of odd trinkets. The door creaked open, and Naruto cautiously stepped inside. The interior was even more bizarre than the exterior. The walls were lined with odd gadgets, colorful banners, and strange artifacts. In the middle of the room sat an elderly man dressed in a robe covered in patches of various colors. His long beard was decorated with beads, and he wore a pair of oversized glasses that seemed to magnify his eyes comically. The man looked up from a stack of old scrolls and beamed at Naruto. "Ah, a new pupil. Welcome, welcome. I am Rokusho, the unconventional sage. What brings you to my humble abode?" Naruto scratched his head, feeling a mix of curiosity and skepticism. "I've heard you're a master of unique training methods. I'm looking to improve my Saiyan abilities and could use some guidance." Rokusho's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Ah, excellent. You've come to the right place. Conventional methods are overrated. Here, we embrace the unconventional." Naruto couldn't help but smile at Rokusho's enthusiasm. "Alright, let's see what you've got." The first training session began with Rokusho instructing Naruto to perform a series of seemingly nonsensical tasks. The first challenge was to balance on a large, wobbling ball while juggling rubber chickens. Naruto struggled to keep his balance, the chickens flapping around wildly as he wobbled precariously. Rokusho observed with a chuckle. Good, good. The key to mastering your Saiyan abilities is balance and focus. The rubber chickens are a metaphor for maintaining control amidst chaos. Naruto managed to stay on the ball, though he was covered in feathers and sweat. This is definitely not what I expected. Next, Rokusho had Naruto run an obstacle course that included hopping over giant stuffed animals, crawling through a maze of hanging streamers, and dodging colorful paint balloons. Naruto's attempts were met with a mix of hilarity and frustration as he stumbled and slipped through the course. As they finished, Rokusho grinned. The obstacle course teaches you to adapt and react quickly. Flexibility is crucial in battle, and sometimes you have to embrace the absurd. Naruto, now covered in paint and tangled in streamers, looked at Rokusho with a mix of exhaustion and amusement. "I've never trained like this before. It's different." Rokusho's eyes twinkled. "Different is good. Now, for the final exercise, the Great Tea Ceremony of Inner Focus. It involves drinking tea while balancing on a tightrope and reciting a poem." Naruto blinked in disbelief. "Wait, drinking tea while balancing on a tightrope? Isn't that a bit impractical?" "Impracticality is the essence of creativity," Rokusho proclaimed. "Now, let's get started." With Naruto carefully balancing on the tightrope and trying not to spill the tea, he recited a nonsensical poem about a dancing squirrel and a magical umbrella. The whole scene was a comical spectacle, with Naruto swaying precariously and Rokusho humming along with the poem. Despite the absurdity of the exercises, Naruto began to notice subtle improvements in his focus and control. The unconventional methods seemed to be working in ways he hadn't expected. After the session, Naruto and Rokusho sat down for a well-deserved break. Naruto, still trying to make sense of the day's events, chuckled. "You know, Rokusho, your training is definitely unique. I'm not sure how it all fits together, but I think I'm starting to get it." Rokusho nodded sagely. The path to mastery is often unconventional. Embrace the chaos, adapt, and you'll find your way. As Naruto left Rokusho's hut, he felt a renewed sense of determination. The training had been bizarre and humorous, but it had given him new insights into his abilities. With a smile, he looked forward to the next chapter of his journey, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead with a newfound sense of balance and adaptability. Chapter 13: The Gathering Storm. The atmosphere in the Hidden Leaf Village was electric with anticipation. Word had spread that the Akatsuki was gearing up for a major assault, and preparations were in full swing. Naruto and his friends, however, approached the situation with their usual mix of seriousness and comedic flair. The chapter opens with Naruto, Sakura, Sai, and Kakashi gathered at their makeshift war room, a local ramen shop that had been commandeered for tactical discussions. As they huddled over a table littered with ramen bowls and scrolls, Naruto's enthusiasm was barely contained. "All right, team. This is it. We need to come up with a plan to keep the village safe from the Akatsuki's big attack," Naruto declared, slurping up the last of his ramen noodles with gusto. Sakura, who was halfway through her own bowl, looked up with a sigh. "Naruto, you do realize that just eating ramen and shouting about plans isn't going to help us, right?" Kakashi, flipping through a scroll with an air of nonchalance, nodded. "Indeed. We need a more structured approach. We should first gather intelligence and then devise strategies based on that." Sai, who had been sketching on his notepad, glanced up. "I propose we create detailed maps of potential attack points and defensive strategies. It's always helpful to have visual aids." Naruto's eyes lit up with inspiration. "Great idea, Sai. And maybe we can incorporate some ninja traps and distractions. Like, a giant balloon filled with paint. Imagine the Akatsuki surprise when they walk into that." Sakura raised an eyebrow. "A paint balloon? Really?" Naruto grinned sheepishly. "Well, I was trying to think of something unexpected." As they continued brainstorming, the scene shifts to the various members of Team 7 preparing in their own unique ways. Each character's preparation is marked by its own brand of humor. Kakashi, known for his laid-back attitude, Kakashi spent the majority of his preparation time reading his favorite book, Make Out Paradise, while occasionally shouting out tactical advice to no one in particular. At one point, he even managed to spill coffee on his book, much to his chagrin. Sakura, determined to be ready for any eventuality, Sakura practiced her strength training with an assortment of unconventional weights. She balanced several large sacks of flour on her shoulders, trying to perfect her chakra-enhanced strength while dodging flour explosions. The resulting cloud of flour made her look like a ghostly apparition. Sai set up a massive mural in the village square, illustrating his tactical maps and strategies. Unfortunately, his artistic skills led to some rather exaggerated drawings of the Akatsuki members, including one where they were depicted as cartoonish, oversized villains with comically large weapons. Naruto's preparation involved a mix of physical training and culinary experimentation. He insisted on creating a special batch of ramen that he claimed would give him extra power. His kitchen became a chaotic mess of spilled ingredients and burnt pots, but he proudly presented his super ramen to his friends. Despite its questionable taste, everyone agreed it was the thought that counted. As the days passed, the tension in the village grew. Naruto and his friends continued their preparations, each in their own quirky way. Despite the oddities, their camaraderie and determination shone through. The villagers, while initially skeptical of their unconventional methods, began to appreciate the spirit and unity they brought to the table. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Naruto and his friends gathered once more at the ramen shop. The mood was a mix of seriousness and lightheartedness, as they reviewed their final plans. "Well, I think we're ready," Naruto said confidently, though his eyes betrayed a hint of nervousness. "We've got our strategies, our traps, and our super ramen. Let's show the Akatsuki what we're made of." Kakashi chuckled. "And let's hope they don't expect too much from our special preparations." Sakura nodded, a determined look on her face. We'll handle whatever comes our way. Together. Sai, finishing up his final sketches, added with a smirk, and if all else fails, at least we'll have the most memorable defense ever. As they prepared for the storm that was about to hit, the village stood united, ready to face the challenges ahead with a mix of humor, creativity, and unwavering determination. Chapter 14, The Great Invasion. The Hidden Leaf Village buzzed with an anxious energy as the first signs of the Akatsuki's attack began to appear on the horizon. Villagers hurriedly fortified their homes and gathered at designated safe zones. Naruto, Sakura, Sai, and Kakashi assembled at the village's central square, ready to defend their home with a mix of determination and, of course, their signature humor. The attack begins. The initial onslaught was chaotic. Akatsuki members appeared in the village, causing confusion and disarray. The scene opened with the sky darkening as ominous clouds gathered, with the Akatsuki's emblem glowing eerily amidst the storm. Naruto stood at the front lines, eyes blazing with the fiery aura of a Saiyan. He roared with enthusiasm, "All right, everyone. It's showtime. Let's show these guys what we're made of." The first wave, hilarious havoc. As the first wave of Akatsuki members stormed in, Naruto's Saiyan strength proved to be both an advantage and a source of comic relief. He charged into battle with his characteristic gusto, only to accidentally flatten a squad of enemies with an overenthusiastic punch that sent them flying into a nearby ramen stand. The stand, now in ruins, splattered the area with noodles and broth, leaving the Akatsuki members flailing in surprise. Sakura, meanwhile, utilized her enhanced strength to send enemies flying with powerful, well-aimed punches. One particularly memorable moment occurred when she smashed a ground-shaking punch, sending an Akatsuki member into a stack of crates. The crates exploded in a shower of vegetables, causing the enemy to emerge covered in lettuce and carrots, much to everyone's amusement. Sai used his ink-based jutsu to create massive, animated drawings of the Akatsuki members. His creations, though meant to be a distraction, were hilariously oversized and comically exaggerated. One of his drawings, a massive, grinning caricature of Deidara, caused several Akatsuki members to stumble in confusion as they tried to navigate around the giant, animated figure. Kakashi, ever the cool and collected leader, used his wit and strategic prowess to outsmart the Akatsuki. He employed clever traps and diversionary tactics, such as setting up illusory copies of himself that led the enemy into comedic predicaments. At one point, his clones led a group of Akatsuki members into a room filled with whoopee cushions and squeaky toys, causing an unexpected and hilarious diversion. The mid-battle strategy. As the battle progressed, the Akatsuki's plan unfolded more clearly. They aimed to capture Naruto and harness his Saiyan powers for their own ends. Their strategy included using powerful jutsu and coordinated attacks to overwhelm him. Naruto, aware of the stakes, stepped up his efforts. With every burst of Saiyan strength, he managed to fend off the attackers while maintaining his trademark humor. He repeatedly found himself in humorous situations, like getting tangled in his own energy blasts or accidentally launching a massive shockwave that sent a whole group of Akatsuki members into a nearby pond, creating a splash that drenched everyone in sight. Meanwhile, Naruto's friends continued their heroic efforts, each contributing to the defense in their own unique ways. Sakura's strength allowed her to clear large swathes of enemies, while Sai's animated distractions kept the Akatsuki on their toes. Kakashi's strategic mind kept the battle organized, and his occasional dry humor provided much-needed levity. The unexpected twist. Just when things seemed to be turning in favor of the defenders, an unexpected twist occurred. A new Akatsuki member, cloaked in mystery, arrived on the scene. This member, known for their unpredictable nature, caused chaos with bizarre and outlandish abilities. They summoned a barrage of giant inflatable creatures that bounced around the battlefield, further adding to the comedic chaos. Naruto and his friends were momentarily bewildered by the absurdity of the situation. Naruto, with a grin, shouted, "Seriously? Giant inflatables? Is this some kind of joke?" The battle continued with a mix of intense action and uproarious moments. Naruto and his friends managed to adapt to the new threat, using their Saiyan strength and ninja skills to overcome the unexpected challenge. The inflatables, though initially a nuisance, eventually became an opportunity for Naruto to display his impressive strength as he sent them soaring high into the sky with a series of powerful kicks. Victory and aftermath. As the battle reached its climax, Naruto and his friends emerged victorious, having successfully repelled the Akatsuki's invasion. The village, though battered and bruised, celebrated their triumph with relief and camaraderie. The chapter closed with a humorous scene of Naruto and his friends relaxing in the aftermath of the battle. They gathered at the same ramen stand that had been destroyed earlier, enjoying bowls of ramen amidst the ruins. Naruto, still sporting a few noodle stains, raised his bowl in a toast. "To us. We survived the great invasion and had a blast doing it." Sakura, Sai, and Kakashi joined in the toast, their laughter echoing through the village. Despite the chaos and danger, their spirit and humor had seen them through, leaving the Hidden Leaf Village stronger and more united than ever. Chapter 15, Clash of Powers. The Hidden Leaf Village had barely begun to recover from the chaos of the Akatsuki invasion when the next challenge presented itself. The Akatsuki had unleashed their most formidable member, a dark and imposing figure whose presence alone seemed to cast a shadow over the village. The stage was set for a high-stakes confrontation, one that would test Naruto's new Saiyan abilities to their limits. The arrival of the adversary. The ominous sky above the village darkened as the Akatsuki member, cloaked in a deep black robe and exuding an aura of immense power, arrived. The ground trembled beneath his feet, and his eyes, glowing with a sinister red light, surveyed the village with cold detachment. Naruto, standing at the forefront of the battlefield with a determined expression, felt the intensity of the enemy's power. His friends and allies watched from a distance, ready to assist but knowing this fight was one Naruto had to face head-on. The opening moves. As the battle began, Naruto powered up, his Saiyan aura flaring brightly. He dashed forward with incredible speed, but the Akatsuki member was just as swift. The first clash of their attack sent shockwaves through the air, the ground beneath them cracking and splintering from the force of their energy. The Akatsuki member, known for his mastery over dark and destructive techniques, unleashed a barrage of energy blasts. Naruto, ever resourceful, responded with a mix of Saiyan strength and ninja agility. He dodged and weaved through the blasts with impressive speed, his movements a blur of gold and red. Despite the high stakes, Naruto's trademark humor shone through. As he narrowly avoided a particularly powerful energy blast, he quipped, "Is that all you've got? I was expecting a bit more excitement." The Akatsuki member, momentarily taken aback by Naruto's irreverence, narrowed his eyes. "You're a fool to underestimate me," he growled, his voice carrying a menacing edge. The battle intensifies. The fight escalated quickly. Naruto used his Saiyan strength to launch a series of powerful attacks. Each one more intense than the last. He combined his energy blasts with his ninja skills, creating a dazzling display of power and precision. One particularly memorable moment occurred when Naruto, after dodging a series of dark energy attacks, leapt into the air and executed a high-speed spinning kick. The kick connected with a resounding impact, sending the Akatsuki member crashing into a nearby building. The building, already weakened from previous skirmishes, crumbled under the force of the impact, sending debris flying. As the dust settled, Naruto landed gracefully and looked around with a grin. "Wow, that was fun. But I'm just getting started." The clever tactics. Despite the intense combat, Naruto's clever tactics and quick thinking kept him ahead. He used his Saiyan abilities to create afterimages that confused the Akatsuki member. The enemy, struggling to keep up with Naruto's speed, found himself unable to predict his next move. In one instance, Naruto created a series of clones that mimicked his energy attacks. The Akatsuki member, overwhelmed by the sheer number of attacks, was momentarily disoriented. Naruto seized the opportunity and launched a powerful Kamehameha wave, a move he had adapted from his Saiyan abilities. The Akatsuki member, caught off guard, barely managed to block the attack. The sheer force of the energy wave pushed him back, causing him to stumble and lose his footing. The unexpected humor. Amidst the chaos, Naruto's humor continued to provide a welcome distraction. During a brief lull in the battle, Naruto noticed the Akatsuki member's cloak flapping wildly in the wind. With a mischievous grin, Naruto called out, "Hey, I think your cape is trying to escape. Maybe it's tired of all this fighting too." The unexpected comment caught the Akatsuki member off guard, momentarily breaking his focus. Naruto seized the chance to launch a series of rapid punches and energy blasts, each one landing with precision. The final showdown. As the battle reached its climax, Naruto and the Akatsuki member faced off in a final, explosive showdown. The Akatsuki member, now visibly battered and exhausted, unleashed his most powerful attack, a swirling vortex of dark energy that threatened to consume everything in its path. Naruto, undeterred, gathered all his remaining energy and charged forward. With a defiant roar, he launched a final, earth-shattering Kamehameha wave that collided with the Akatsuki member's attack. The resulting explosion illuminated the entire battlefield, the shockwave pushing everyone back. Victory and aftermath. As the smoke cleared, Naruto stood victorious, panting heavily but grinning from ear to ear. The Akatsuki member lay defeated, the dark energy dissipating around him. Naruto's friends and allies rushed to his side, their expressions a mix of relief and admiration. Sakura clapped him on the back, laughing. "You really know how to put on a show, Naruto. That was incredible." Sai, always the observer, added, "Your tactics were impressive. I never thought I'd see energy blasts and ninja techniques combined so effectively." Kakashi, with his usual calm demeanor, nodded in approval. "Well done, Naruto. You handled yourself admirably." Naruto, still catching his breath, gave a thumbs up. "Thanks, everyone. I couldn't have done it without you." As the village began to recover from the battle, the victory was celebrated with a mix of relief and excitement. Naruto's clash with the powerful Akatsuki member had tested his abilities to the limit, but his humor, clever tactics, and Saiyan strength had seen him through. The Hidden Leaf Village was safe once more, and Naruto's legend as the legendary Super Saiyan continued to grow. Chapter 16, Friends and Foes. The aftermath of Naruto's fierce battle with the Akatsuki member had barely settled and the next wave of challenges began. Though victorious, Naruto knew that the Akatsuki's defeat was only a temporary setback. As the threat loomed larger, his friends rallied to support him, each bringing their unique abilities and personality to the fight. This chapter highlights their crucial roles, blending intense action with the light-hearted camaraderie that had always defined Team 7. The team assembles. The Hidden Leaf Village buzzed with activity as preparations were made for the next confrontation. Naruto's friends, Sakura, Sasuke, and Kakashi, were ready to lend their support. Each had their own approach to the upcoming battle, adding a touch of humor and strategic flair to the mix. Sakura, with her enhanced strength and medical skills, had taken it upon herself to ensure that the village's defenses were fortified and the wounded were cared for. She moved with purpose, her usually fiery temper tempered by the need for focus. "Alright, everyone. If you're going to be in the way, at least try not to get injured so I don't have to patch you up," she called out, her voice carrying both authority and exasperation. Sasuke, ever the strategist, was deep in conversation with Kakashi, devising plans and contingencies. He was less inclined towards humor, but his smirks and dry comments still managed to add a layer of levity to the situation. Naruto might be strong, but he's not invincible. We need to be ready for anything, he said, raising an eyebrow as he glanced at Kakashi. Kakashi, with his calm demeanor and ever-present mask, was coordinating the village's defense and strategizing with the other ninja. His occasional quips provided a welcome break from the tension. Let's try not to have another repeat of last time, shall we? I'd prefer not to explain to Tsunade why we have to rebuild the village again, he said with a wry smile. The battle begins. As the Akatsuki launched their renewed assault on the Hidden Leaf Village, Naruto and his friends sprang into action. The battlefield became a whirlwind of energy and activity, with each member of Team 7 playing a crucial role. Naruto, energized and ready, led the charge with his Saiyan abilities blazing. His attacks were a combination of raw power and ninja techniques, creating a spectacular display of force. However, it was clear that he couldn't handle everything on his own, especially with the heightened threat from the Akatsuki. Sakura's heroics. Sakura took to the battlefield with a determination that matched her strength. She was a force to be reckoned with, her punches shattering rock and her medical skills keeping her comrades in fighting shape. Her humor emerged in the thick of battle when she faced off against a group of Akatsuki goons. "Guess you guys didn't get the memo," Sakura said with a smirk as she knocked out two of them with a single punch. "Mess with us, and you get the Sakura special." Her interactions with her opponents were a mix of serious combat and playful banter. Even while delivering devastating blows, she managed to keep the mood light, making it clear that the Akatsuki had underestimated the resolve and resilience of the Hidden Leaf. Sasuke's strategy. Sasuke's role was pivotal in the strategic planning and execution of the village's defense. His lightning-fast reflexes and precision made him a formidable opponent. He teamed up with Naruto to take down some of the more powerful Akatsuki members. As he fought, he occasionally traded barbs with Naruto. "You're getting sloppy, Naruto," Sasuke shouted, dodging an attack and countering with a well-aimed Chidori. "Try not to get us all killed with your flashy moves." Naruto grinned, panting from exertion. "And you're just as grumpy as ever. Good to have you back, Sasuke." Kakashi's wisdom. Kakashi's contribution was equally important, using his Sharingan and intellect to guide the battle. He coordinated with the other ninja, providing crucial support and direction. His humor was on full display when he faced an Akatsuki member who was overly dramatic in his villainous speech. "Enough with the monologuing," Kakashi said, cutting the villain off with a well-timed kunai throw. "We've got a battle to win and a village to protect. Save your theatrics for someone who cares." His witty remarks and strategic insights provided a much-needed balance to the high-stakes battle, keeping his comrades motivated and focused. The power of teamwork. As the battle raged on, the teamwork and camaraderie among Naruto and his friends became evident. Each member of Team 7 complemented the other's strengths and weaknesses, creating a seamless blend of power and strategy. Naruto's Saiyan strength, combined with Sakura's medical skills and brute force, Sasuke's tactical prowess, and Kakashi's experience, created a formidable force against the Akatsuki. Their combined efforts led to a series of victories, each one marked by a mixture of intense action and humorous interactions. A moment of reflection. In the brief lulls between combat, Naruto and his friends shared moments of camaraderie and reflection. They exchanged jokes and stories, their bond strengthening even as they faced the relentless threat from the Akatsuki. As they regrouped after a particularly fierce skirmish, Naruto looked at his friends with gratitude. "You guys are the best. I couldn't do this without you." Sakura smiled, her eyes softening. "We're in this together, Naruto. Always." Sasuke gave a rare, genuine smile. "Just don't get too used to us saving your butt." Kakashi, with his usual calm, nodded. "Let's keep up the good work. We've got a village to protect and a future to secure." The battle continues. With their spirits high and their resolve strengthened, Naruto and his friends prepared for the next phase of the battle. The Akatsuki's threat was far from over, but with the combined strength and humor of Team 7, they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As the sun set over the Hidden Leaf Village, the heroes stood ready for the battles to come, their friendship and determination shining as brightly as ever. Chapter 17, The Secret Weapon. The Hidden Leaf Village was on high alert following the relentless Akatsuki attacks. As the village continued to recover from the previous battles, a new, more ominous threat emerged. The Akatsuki had unveiled their secret weapon, a fearsome creature imbued with dark energy that threatened to tip the scales in their favor. The unveiling of the weapon. The skies darkened once more as the Akatsuki's secret weapon made its appearance. It was a monstrous amalgamation of dark energy and monstrous features, towering over the village with an aura of dread. Its eyes glowed with a menacing light, and its roar shook the very ground beneath. As the villagers and ninja alike gazed in horror, the Akatsuki member who had orchestrated this latest attack, a sinister figure known for his dark sorcery, stood at a distance with a smug grin. "Behold," he announced with a dramatic flourish, "our ultimate creation. With this beast, victory is ours." Naruto's determination. Naruto, seeing the new threat, clenched his fists and steeled himself for the challenge ahead. His Saiyan abilities flared as he powered up, his aura blazing brightly. His friends, gathered beside him, prepared to face the monster head-on. "We've faced plenty of weird stuff before," Naruto said, flashing a confident grin. "But this? This is a whole new level of crazy." Sakura and Sasuke exchanged glances, their expressions a mix of determination and bemusement. "Let's show them what we're made of," Sakura said, readying her strength. Sasuke nodded. "This is just another obstacle. We can handle it." Kakashi, ever the strategist, quickly assessed the situation. "We need a plan. That creature looks powerful, but with teamwork and a bit of creativity, we can defeat it." The showdown begins. As the monstrous weapon advanced, Naruto and his team sprang into action. The battle was a mix of intense combat and humorous mishaps, with each member of Team 7 contributing in their own unique way. Naruto charged forward, his Saiyan powers augmenting his already impressive speed. He darted around the beast, delivering a series of powerful blows that seemed to have little effect. The creature roared in frustration, swinging its massive claws wildly. Sakura, using her incredible strength, leaped into the fray. She landed a powerful punch that sent shockwaves through the creature's body. "Try and keep up, you oversized nightmare," she shouted, her strength creating cracks in the ground beneath her. Sasuke, utilizing his Sharingan and lightning abilities, launched precise attacks that targeted the creature's weak points. "This thing's not invincible," he said. "Striking with pinpoint accuracy. We just need to find the right spots." Kakashi, with his usual calm demeanor, coordinated the attacks and provided support. He used his copy ninja abilities to create clones that confused the creature and diverted its attention. "Everyone, focus on its core. We need to take it down from the inside out." The clever strategy. Naruto and his friends quickly realized that brute force alone wouldn't be enough to defeat the creature. They needed a plan. Using their combined skills, they devised a clever strategy to bring down the beast. Naruto and Sasuke coordinated their attacks to create a diversion while Sakura and Kakashi focused on the creature's weak points. Naruto used his Saiyan strength to create a powerful energy blast that weakened the creature's defenses. "Now, Sakura!" Naruto shouted, his voice filled with determination. Sakura, seizing the opportunity, delivered a series of powerful punches that struck the creature's core. The impact created a visible fissure in the beast's armor, revealing a glowing weak spot. Sasuke, with his precise aim, launched a powerful Chidori straight into the exposed core. The attack penetrated the creature's defenses, causing it to stagger and roar in agony. The humorous twist. In the midst of the battle, Naruto's humor provided a much-needed distraction. As the creature staggered, Naruto couldn't resist a quip. "You know, if you weren't so busy being a terrifying monster, you might actually have a chance to enjoy life." The comment seemed to confuse the creature, making it momentarily pause in its attack. The brief pause allowed Naruto and his friends to regroup and prepare for their final assault. The final assault. With the creature weakened and disoriented, Naruto and his team launched their final attack. Naruto and Sasuke combined their powers for a devastating energy wave, while Sakura delivered a powerful finishing blow. The combined assault was overwhelming. The energy wave engulfed the creature, and Sakura's final punch shattered its core. The monster let out a final, pitiful roar before collapsing into a heap of dark energy. Victory and aftermath. As the dust settled, Naruto and his friends stood victorious. The monstrous weapon lay defeated, its dark energy dissipating into the air. The village, though battered, had been saved once more. Naruto, panting and covered in dust, looked at his friends with a grin. "Not bad for a day's work, huh?" Sakura, wiping sweat from her brow, laughed. "Yeah, but next time, let's hope the enemies are a bit less monstrous." Sasuke, with a rare smile, nodded. "We handled it. That's what matters." Kakashi, with his usual calm demeanor, added, "Well done, everyone. Let's make sure we're ready for whatever comes next." As the villagers celebrated their victory and began the process of rebuilding, Naruto and his friends took a moment to relax and enjoy their hard-earned respite. The battle against the Akatsuki's secret weapon had been a challenging one, but their clever strategies, Saiyan powers, and unwavering camaraderie had seen them through. The Hidden Leaf Village was safe once more, and the legend of Naruto's Saiyan abilities continued to grow, adding new chapters to the story of the legendary Super Saiyan and his remarkable team. Chapter 18, The Unexpected Twist. The battle against the Akatsuki had been intense, with Naruto and his friends pushing their limits. Just when it seemed that victory was within reach, a sudden and unforeseen twist threatened to upend everything. The unexpected turn of events not only shook the battlefield but also prompted Naruto and his friends to adapt quickly, blending their trademark humor with newfound determination. The unexpected arrival. As Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, and Kakashi regrouped to plan their next move, the ground beneath them began to tremble. An ominous energy filled the air, and the sky darkened as if responding to the surge of power. Without warning, a massive portal ripped open in the sky, its edges crackling with dark energy. Out of the portal emerged a new and formidable foe, a being of immense power with an aura that rivaled even the Akatsuki members. The figure, clad in an elaborate dark robe and exuding a sense of malevolence, landed gracefully in the midst of the battlefield. His presence alone caused a collective gasp from both Naruto's team and the Akatsuki. "Looks like someone else wants to join the party," Naruto quipped, his eyes narrowing as he assessed the new threat. "I hope he didn't come just for the food." The new threat. The new foe, with an air of arrogant confidence, addressed the assembled fighters. "You're all so amusing, but you've reached the limits of your usefulness. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Zephyrus, the conqueror of dimensions. I've come to claim this world as my own." Naruto, unfazed by the grandiose introduction, raised an eyebrow. "Great, just what we needed, another guy with a flair for dramatic speeches. Do you come with a side of evil plans, or is that extra?" Sakura and Sasuke exchanged amused glances, their tense expressions momentarily easing. Kakashi's eyes twinkled with amusement behind his mask as he prepared for the unexpected battle. "Seems like we're in for a real treat. Let's see what this conqueror of dimensions has up his sleeve." The battle resumes. As Zephyrus began to demonstrate his power, the battlefield was soon engulfed in chaos. He wielded dark, otherworldly energy that seemed to warp reality itself, creating a distorted and surreal combat environment. The once familiar landscape of the Hidden Leaf Village transformed into a bizarre and shifting terrain, filled with illusions and traps. Naruto and his friends quickly adapted, their instincts and training kicking in. Sakura used her enhanced strength to clear obstacles and protect her teammates from the strange anomalies created by Zephyrus. If this guy thinks he's going to make things more complicated, he's got another thing coming, she declared, smashing through a series of illusory barriers with a powerful punch. Sasuke, using his Sharingan to see through the illusions, navigated the treacherous terrain with precision. Focus on the real threats, everyone. His tricks won't work if we stay sharp, he instructed, his voice steady and commanding. Kakashi, ever the strategist, adapted his tactics to counter the reality-warping effects. We'll need to stay mobile and avoid getting trapped. Let's find a way to neutralize his powers. The humorous twist. In the midst of the battle, Naruto's humor provided much-needed levity. As Zephyrus conjured a particularly elaborate illusion, Naruto found himself face-to-face with a doppelganger that looked like a bizarre fusion of his worst enemies and oddest fears. The doppelganger wobbled and squawked in an exaggerated manner, eliciting a burst of laughter from Naruto. Seriously? Naruto said, grinning as he dodged the doppelganger's clumsy attacks. Is this some kind of twisted comedy show? Because I'm not impressed by the special effects. His banter seemed to throw off Zephyrus's concentration, making the illusions less effective. Naruto used this to his advantage, launching a series of attacks that disrupted the flow of dark energy and caused Zephyrus to stagger. The turning point. Realizing that they needed a new strategy, Naruto and his friends devised a plan to confront Zephyrus directly. By combining their strengths and coordinating their efforts, they aimed to break through the dimensional distortions and reach their foe. Sakura created a protective barrier around her teammates, allowing them to focus on the attack. Sasuke and Kakashi executed a series of precision strikes, while Naruto gathered his energy for a powerful assault. The combined force of their attacks began to weaken Zephyrus's control over the battlefield. Zephyrus, now visibly frustrated and struggling to maintain his composure, attempted one final desperate move. He unleashed a massive wave of dark energy, but Naruto, with his Saiyan strength and quick reflexes, managed to counter it with a colossal energy blast of his own. The climax. As the two energy waves collided, the sheer force of the explosion lit up the battlefield. Naruto's energy blast overpowered Zephyrus's attack, sending the conqueror reeling. The impact shattered the remaining illusions and distorted terrain, restoring the battlefield to its original state. Zephyrus, battered and disoriented, was forced to retreat through the portal from which he had emerged. His last words echoed through the air as he disappeared. This isn't over. I will return. Naruto, panting but triumphant, watched as the portal closed. Well, that was a blast. Literally. The aftermath. As the dust settled, Naruto and his friends regrouped, their expressions a mix of relief and exhaustion. The unexpected twist had tested their abilities and resilience, but their humor and determination had seen them through. Sakura clapped Naruto on the back, her smile tired but genuine. Nice work, Naruto. You really know how to make things interesting. Sasuke, with a rare smile, nodded in approval. We handled that well. Let's hope the next surprise isn't as outlandish. Kakashi, his mask slightly askew, gave a proud smile. Well done, everyone. Let's take a moment to catch our breath and prepare for whatever comes next. As they looked out over the battlefield, Naruto and his friends knew that the fight was far from over. The unexpected twist had added a new layer of complexity to their struggle, but their camaraderie and resolve remained as strong as ever. Together, they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, confident that they could overcome any obstacle with a blend of strength, strategy, and humor. Chapter 19, The Final Confrontation. The Hidden Leaf Village was in a state of tense anticipation as the final battle with the Akatsuki leader loomed on the horizon. The village's defenders, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi, and their allies, prepared for the ultimate confrontation. The sky was overcast, casting a shadow over the battlefield as they gathered their strength and resolved for what would be the most intense and decisive fight of their lives. The Akatsuki leader's arrival. The Akatsuki leader, a figure cloaked in shadows and mystery, made a dramatic entrance. His presence radiated an overwhelming aura of power and malevolence, casting an imposing figure against the backdrop of a darkened sky. The ground shook as he landed, the atmosphere thick with the tension of the impending clash. "I've been waiting for this moment," the Akatsuki leader announced, his voice echoing with authority. "You've been a thorn in my side for far too long. Today, I will end this once and for all." Naruto, eyes blazing with determination, stepped forward. "You've caused enough trouble for everyone. We're putting a stop to you here and now." Sasuke and Sakura flanked Naruto, their expressions resolute. Kakashi, ever the strategist, took a position to support his team with his keen tactical mind. The battle begins. As the battle commenced, Naruto's Saiyan abilities surged to their fullest. His energy radiated with a dazzling golden light, and his aura crackled with immense power. He launched himself at the Akatsuki leader with incredible speed, his movements a blur as he unleashed a flurry of punches and kicks. The Akatsuki leader, however, was a formidable opponent. He countered Naruto's attacks with dark energy blasts and powerful techniques, his movements graceful yet lethal. The clash of their powers created shockwaves that rippled through the battlefield, sending debris flying and causing the ground to quake. Despite the intensity of the fight, Naruto's characteristic humor and wit provided a surprising counterpoint to the ferocity of the battle. As he exchanged blows with the Akatsuki leader, he cracked jokes and made playful taunts. "Is this all you've got?" Naruto exclaimed, dodging a particularly fierce attack. "I've seen more intimidating threats from a toddler's tantrum." The Akatsuki leader's expression remained stoic, though a flicker of irritation crossed his face. "You mock me now, but you will see the true extent of my power." Teamwork and strategy. Naruto's friends joined the fray, each contributing their unique skills to the battle. Sasuke unleashed a barrage of lightning-fast strikes, his Sharingan allowing him to anticipate the Akatsuki leader's moves. Sakura used her immense strength to create shockwaves that disrupted the leader's attacks and provided openings for her teammates. Kakashi employed his strategic brilliance, coordinating the team's efforts and providing tactical support. He used his Sharingan and various jutsu to create diversions and opportunities for Naruto to land decisive blows. "Keep your focus," Kakashi shouted, directing his team. "We need to break through his defenses." As the battle raged on, Naruto's Saiyan abilities continued to evolve. He tapped into new levels of power, his energy surging with each intense exchange. The Akatsuki leader, while formidable, struggled to keep up with the sheer force and unpredictability of Naruto's attacks. The turning point. The fight reached a critical juncture when the Akatsuki leader unleashed a devastating, all-encompassing attack that threatened to obliterate everything in its path. Naruto, realizing the gravity of the situation, gathered his remaining energy and prepared for a final, all-out assault. "Get ready!" Naruto shouted to his friends. "This is going to be a big one." With a fierce determination, Naruto channeled his Saiyan energy into a massive energy blast, his aura blazing with golden intensity. The blast surged forward, colliding with the Akatsuki leader's attack in a spectacular explosion of light and energy. The force of the collision created a blinding flash, and the battlefield was engulfed in a dazzling display of power. When the light subsided, Naruto and the Akatsuki leader were locked in a fierce struggle, their powers clashing in a final, decisive confrontation. The comedic moments. Amidst the high-stakes battle, Naruto's humor continued to shine through. As he and the Akatsuki leader exchanged blows, Naruto managed to crack a grin despite the intensity of the fight. "You know," Naruto panted, dodging a series of attacks, for someone who talks so much, you sure don't know how to take a joke. The Akatsuki leader's frustration was palpable. Enough of your games. Naruto's playful banter and determination seemed to throw off the leader's focus, giving Naruto and his friends an advantage. The battle became a blend of intense action and humorous exchanges, showcasing Naruto's unique ability to balance the two. The final blow. With one final surge of energy, Naruto delivered a powerful, decisive blow that overwhelmed the Akatsuki leader. The leader staggered, his dark energy dissipating as Naruto's attack landed with a resounding impact. The Akatsuki leader, defeated and exhausted, fell to the ground. The battlefield fell silent as Naruto and his friends stood victorious, their expressions a mix of relief and exhaustion. The aftermath. As the dust settled, Naruto and his friends regrouped, their faces showing a blend of triumph and fatigue. The final confrontation had tested their abilities and resolve, but their teamwork and humor had seen them through. Sakura approached Naruto, her smile tired but genuine. That was incredible. You really pulled us through. Sasuke, with a rare smile, nodded in approval. We did well. Let's make sure this victory counts. Kakashi, his mask slightly askew, gave a proud smile. Well done, everyone. Let's take a moment to celebrate and reflect on what we've accomplished. As the sun began to rise over the Hidden Leaf Village, Naruto and his friends looked out over the battlefield, their hearts filled with a sense of accomplishment and camaraderie. The final confrontation had been a testament to their strength, unity, and the enduring spirit of their friendship. Together, they had overcome the ultimate challenge and emerged victorious, ready to embrace the new chapter of their journey with renewed determination and hope. Chapter 20, Victory and Celebration. The sun set over the Hidden Leaf Village, casting a warm, golden glow over the aftermath of the fierce battle. The village, once fraught with tension and turmoil, now buzzed with a vibrant sense of relief and joy. The defeat of the Akatsuki was not just a victory but a testament to the strength and resilience of Naruto and his friends. The festivities begin. The village square was adorned with colorful lanterns and banners, and a large feast had been prepared to honor the heroes. The aroma of grilled meats, freshly baked bread, and various delicacies filled the air, drawing villagers out of their homes to join in the celebration. Naruto, still in his Saiyan attire but with a relaxed, contented expression, stood at the center of the festivities. He was surrounded by his friends, Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi, and others, each of whom had their own unique way of celebrating. I can't believe we actually did it. Naruto exclaimed, a wide grin on his face as he helped himself to a heaping plate of food. This feast is incredible. We totally deserve this. Sasuke, seated at a nearby table, raised an eyebrow but couldn't suppress a small smile. I suppose it's a fitting reward after everything we've been through. Sakura, in high spirits, was chatting animatedly with villagers, recounting their recent adventures with enthusiastic gestures. And then Naruto actually used his Saiyan power too. Her story was interrupted by a playful shove from Naruto, who was already halfway through his third helping of meat. I didn't need that much detail. They might not believe you. Comedic mishaps. As the night progressed, the celebration was marked by a series of comedic mishaps. Naruto, in his excitement, accidentally set off a small firework, causing a mild panic that was quickly diffused by a water jutsu from Kakashi. The explosion of lights and colors in the sky drew cheers from the crowd, who thought it was a planned part of the festivities. Meanwhile, Sasuke found himself the target of several playful pranks. In an attempt to blend in, he had taken part in a game of pin the tail on the fox, only to end up with a tail pinned to his own back, much to the amusement of the crowd. Kakashi, always the master of mischief, took advantage of the celebratory atmosphere to tell exaggerated tales of their battle, embellishing his role with humorous anecdotes. His storytelling had the villagers laughing and clapping, though his stories were laced with his characteristic dry humor. reflecting on the journey. As the evening wore on, Naruto and his friends gathered around a bonfire. The warmth of the flames contrasted with the cool night air, and the crackling of the fire provided a soothing background to their conversations. "It's hard to believe how far we've come," Sakura said, gazing into the fire. "From the early days of training to facing the Akatsuki, it's been an incredible journey." Naruto nodded, his expression thoughtful. "Yeah. We've had our share of challenges, but we've always come through because we're in this together." Sasuke, looking out over the village, added, "It's moments like these that make it all worth it. The battles, the sacrifices, they led us to this." Kakashi, leaning back with a relaxed posture, looked at his team with a proud smile. "You've all grown so much. It's been an honor to fight alongside you." A moment of light-heartedness. In the midst of their reflections, the mood lightened as Naruto suddenly burst into song, leading an impromptu sing-along of their favorite village tunes. His off-key rendition had everyone laughing, and even Sasuke was unable to resist joining in, albeit with a begrudging smirk. "Sing louder, Naruto," Sakura teased. "Or are you trying to put everyone to sleep?" Naruto responded with a dramatic flourish, his voice growing even louder. "This is my victory song. If you're not singing, you're missing out." The group's laughter and camaraderie were infectious, and soon the entire village was joining in the celebration. The festivities continued late into the night, with dancing, games, and storytelling bringing everyone closer together. The dawn of a new era. As the celebration wound down, Naruto and his friends found a quiet spot away from the festivities. They sat together, gazing at the stars that sparkled brightly in the clear night sky. "You know," Naruto said softly, "it feels like everything is finally falling into place. The village is safe, and we've made so many great memories." Sakura leaned against him, smiling warmly. "And we'll keep making more. Together." Sasuke, who had been unusually reflective, nodded in agreement. "Yeah. This is just the beginning of a new chapter for all of us." Kakashi, watching his team with a satisfied expression, added, "Indeed. The future is bright, and we'll face it with the same determination and spirit that brought us here." As the first light of dawn began to appear on the horizon, the village settled into a peaceful slumber, the echoes of laughter and joy lingering in the air. Naruto and his friends knew that while the battle against the Akatsuki had been won, their journey was far from over. New challenges and adventures awaited, but they faced them with renewed hope and a strengthened bond. Together, they would continue to protect their village and uphold the values they cherished, embracing each new day with the same determination and camaraderie that had carried them through their greatest battle. Chapter 21, New Challenges. As the Hidden Leaf Village basked in the aftermath of their recent victory, a sense of peace and contentment settled over its inhabitants. The village was flourishing, and life had returned to a semblance of normalcy. However, the calm was not to last, for a new and unexpected threat was about to emerge. A mysterious arrival. The day began like any other, with villagers going about their routines and Naruto enjoying a well-deserved break. He had just finished a hearty breakfast and was making his way to the training grounds when a sudden commotion at the village gates caught his attention. Naruto dashed toward the noise, his curiosity piqued. As he arrived, he was met with a sight that left him momentarily speechless. A bizarrely dressed figure, clad in a patchwork of brightly colored garments and a hat adorned with oversized feathers, was causing chaos at the gate. The figure seemed to be a cross between a circus performer and a magician, complete with a flourish of exaggerated gestures. "Step right up, folks," the stranger proclaimed, waving a glittering wand. "Witness the marvels of the great Zantair. I've come to challenge your strongest warrior." Naruto stared in disbelief. What's going on here?" The villagers looked equally perplexed. One of the gate guards, trying to regain control of the situation, approached the eccentric figure. "Sir, we don't have any scheduled events or challenges today. Could you please explain yourself? The great Zantair, as he called himself, performed an elaborate bow. I am a renowned challenger from a distant land. I have traveled far and wide to test my skills against the mightiest of warriors. And it seems that today, I have found my new stage. The challenge. Naruto, intrigued and slightly amused, stepped forward. I guess that's me you're talking about. What kind of challenge are we talking about here? Zantair's eyes sparkled with excitement. Ah, splendid. My challenge involves not only physical prowess but also wit and creativity. We shall see if you, Naruto, can match my skills in a series of trials. Naruto, ever ready for a new adventure, grinned. Sounds like fun. What's the first trial? Zantair, with a dramatic wave of his wand, conjured a series of colorful illusions, dancing lights, floating objects, and mysterious creatures. The first trial is to solve the puzzle of the Phantom Maze. Navigate through this maze of illusions and find the hidden prize. The Phantom Maze. The Phantom Maze was a swirling labyrinth of shifting illusions. Naruto, equipped with his Saiyan strength and ninja agility, tackled the maze with enthusiasm. However, the maze proved to be trickier than anticipated, with illusions that shifted, distorted, and occasionally attempted to distract him with exaggerated comedic effects. Sakura, Sasuke, and Kakashi observed from the sidelines, their amusement evident. Sakura couldn't help but laugh as Naruto encountered a particularly mischievous illusion that resembled a giant, laughing tomato. Looks like Naruto's having a bit of trouble. Sakura commented, chuckling. Sasuke smirked. He'll figure it out. He always does. Kakashi, sipping his cup of tea, added with a grin, and in the meantime, this is quite entertaining. The trials continue. As Naruto progressed through the maze, he encountered a series of other trials set by Zantair. Each trial was a blend of physical, mental, and comedic challenges. From a juggling act involving flaming torches to a riddle that required Naruto to perform a humorous dance, the trials tested his adaptability and creativity. Despite the absurdity of some trials, Naruto approached each with his characteristic enthusiasm. His humor and resourcefulness shone through, turning each challenge into a memorable experience. During one trial, Naruto had to balance on a giant rubber ball while solving a series of riddles. As he wobbled precariously, he cracked jokes and laughed, much to the amusement of the spectators. Who knew balancing on a giant ball would be so much fun? Naruto said, trying not to fall. Maybe I should add this to my training routine. The final trial. After completing a series of trials, Naruto faced the final challenge, a duel with Zantair himself. The great Zantair, having revealed his true abilities to be a skilled combatant with a flair for the dramatic, was eager to test his prowess against Naruto's Saiyan strength. The duel was a blend of high-energy combat and theatrical displays. Zantair, using his flashy techniques and illusions, put up a valiant fight. Naruto, with a mix of his Saiyan power and ninja skills, matched Zantair's moves with agility and creativity. The battle was intense but laced with humor. At one point, Zantair's illusion created a duplicate of himself that danced around Naruto, only to be comically dismantled by a well-placed kick. You're pretty good, Zantair. Naruto said, grinning as he dodged an illusionary attack. But you're going to have to do better than that. The aftermath. With a final, decisive move, Naruto triumphed in the duel. Zantair, panting and slightly disheveled but still smiling, acknowledged Naruto's victory. Well done, Naruto. Zantair said with a theatrical bow. You've proven yourself a true warrior and a master of the unexpected. Naruto, catching his breath, grinned. That was a blast. Thanks for the challenge, Zantair. The villagers, who had gathered to watch the spectacle, cheered and applauded. The great Zantair, satisfied with the outcome, promised to return with more challenges in the future. As the sun set on the village once again, Naruto and his friends gathered to reflect on the day's events. The new threat had been both entertaining and revealing, hinting at the challenges that lay ahead. "I have a feeling things are just getting started," Naruto said, his eyes twinkling with excitement. Sasuke nodded. "Whatever comes next, we'll face it together." Sakura smiled warmly. "And we'll keep having adventures, no matter how strange or challenging they might be." Kakashi, ever the mentor, added, "Here's to new challenges and the joy of facing them as a team." As the night fell, the village once again became a place of warmth and camaraderie. The introduction of Zantair had set the stage for new adventures, and Naruto and his friends were ready to embrace whatever lay ahead with humor, determination, and their unbreakable bond. Chapter 22, The Training Continues. The Hidden Leaf Village had settled back into its usual rhythm after the recent excitement. Yet, for Naruto and his friends, the aftermath of the Great Zantair's challenge was a reminder that their journey was far from over. With the new threat looming on the horizon, Naruto was determined to continue honing his Saiyan abilities and refining his ninja techniques. Morning Routine. The sun rose over the village, casting its golden light on the training grounds where Naruto had begun his early morning routine. Naruto stood in the middle of a large open field, surrounded by a variety of training equipment, giant boulders, makeshift dummies, and an assortment of bizarre contraptions he'd created himself. "Alright, time to up the ante," Naruto declared, his determination palpable. Sakura, Sasuke, and Kakashi, having agreed to help with Naruto's training, arrived at the field with a mix of curiosity and amusement. Kakashi, ever the laid-back mentor, sipped his coffee as he observed. "What's on the agenda for today, Naruto?" Naruto, brimming with energy, grinned. "I'm going to master my new Saiyan techniques and integrate them with my ninja skills. And I've got a few new tricks up my sleeve." The unconventional training regimen. Naruto's training regimen was anything but conventional. His first task involved trying to combine his Super Saiyan power with traditional ninja techniques. He had set up a series of targets that were supposed to be hit with pinpoint accuracy using a combination of his energy blasts and shuriken. However, the results were less than perfect. "Come on, Naruto, focus," Sakura encouraged, trying to stifle a laugh as Naruto's energy blast turned the target into a spectacular firework display. "I'm trying," Naruto replied, his face scrunched up in concentration as he blasted a target into splinters. "Maybe I need to adjust the energy level, or maybe I just need more practice." Sasuke, watching from the sidelines, raised an eyebrow. "I've never seen someone turn training into a light show before." Naruto, not missing a beat, replied, "Hey, if you're going to train, you might as well make it entertaining." The gravity chamber. Next on Naruto's list was his homemade gravity chamber, a contraption designed to simulate different levels of gravity. The device consisted of a large metal sphere with adjustable weights, which Naruto had rigged up in a very experimental fashion. "I call this the Gravity Enhancer 3000. Naruto announced proudly, adjusting the dials with exaggerated flair. The moment Naruto stepped inside, the contraption whirred and clicked, and the gravity in the chamber increased dramatically. Naruto struggled to move, his usual speed and agility reduced to a slow, labored crawl. "Whoa, this is harder than I thought." Naruto grunted, trying to lift his arms as if they were made of lead. Sakura and Sasuke watched, barely able to contain their laughter as Naruto's attempts at training in increased gravity resulted in him flopping around like a fish out of water. "Need a hand?" Sasuke asked, grinning. "No way." Naruto insisted, though his voice was muffled as he faced the floor. "I'm going to master this on my own." The juggling act. Naruto's final training method for the day involved a juggling act with chakra-infused objects. He had gathered a collection of floating orbs and began to juggle them while maintaining his Super Saiyan aura. However, balancing the floating orbs proved more difficult than anticipated. The orbs bobbed unpredictably, and Naruto found himself in a chaotic dance, trying to keep them all in the air while simultaneously dodging the occasional stray energy blast. Kakashi, observing from a distance, chuckled. Looks like Naruto's having a bit of a struggle with his new, ballistic, juggling technique. Sakura giggled. If he manages to get this right, he'll be the only one who can juggle fireballs while dodging his own attacks. Surprising results. Despite the humorous and chaotic nature of the training, Naruto's persistence paid off. His control over his Saiyan abilities improved, and he began to integrate his new techniques with his existing ninja skills more effectively. Each mishap and comedic moment became a learning opportunity, helping Naruto refine his approach and adapt to his evolving powers. By the end of the day, Naruto had achieved a new level of mastery, though his training area was left in a state of disarray, scorched targets, bent metal, and a few burnt-out orbs scattered around. Kakashi approached Naruto, a satisfied smile on his face. You've made some impressive progress today, Naruto. Your unique approach to training is definitely something. Naruto, catching his breath, grinned. Thanks, Kakashi. It's all about finding the fun in the process. Sakura and Sasuke joined them, still chuckling at the day's events. You really turned training into a spectacle, Sakura said with a grin. I'll never look at juggling the same way again. As the sun began to set, Naruto and his friends reflected on the day's training. Despite the chaos and comedic moments, Naruto's continued efforts to master his powers were clear. The new challenges had brought both growth and laughter, setting the stage for the adventures to come. Here's to more training, and more fun. Naruto said, raising a fist in triumph. Sasuke smirked. Let's see what other unconventional methods you come up with. Sakura nodded, smiling. And we'll be right here to help you with all of them. With the promise of more adventures and challenges ahead, Naruto and his friends looked forward to the future with anticipation and camaraderie, ready to face whatever came their way with determination and a sense of humor. Chapter 23, Allies and Adversaries. With the recent challenges faced by the Hidden Leaf Village, a sense of camaraderie and unity began to blossom among its defenders. However, as new threats emerged, so too did the potential for unexpected allies and peculiar adversaries. This chapter explores the evolving relationships between Naruto and these new characters, filled with humorous interactions and unexpected alliances. A mysterious traveler. One sunny afternoon, while Naruto was training at the training grounds, a commotion near the village gates caught his attention. Curiosity piqued, he rushed over to investigate. Upon arrival, he found a crowd gathered around a newcomer, a mysterious traveler with a flowing cape and a flamboyant hat that seemed to change colors with every movement. The traveler was animatedly telling tales of distant lands, gesturing wildly as he captivated the audience. And then, with a single flick of my wrist, I defeated the colossal monster with nothing but my trusty rubber chicken, he exclaimed, brandishing a rubber chicken for emphasis. Naruto couldn't help but stifle a laugh. Is this guy for real? He muttered to himself. As the traveler continued his exaggerated storytelling, he suddenly spotted Naruto in the crowd. Ah, you must be the legendary Naruto Uzumaki, he exclaimed, pointing dramatically. I have heard tales of your exploits. Naruto, slightly taken aback, rubbed the back of his head sheepishly. Yeah, that's me. And you are? I am Balthazar the Bold, adventurer extraordinaire, the traveler declared, sweeping into a flamboyant bow. I have come to seek allies in my quest for greatness. An unexpected proposal. Balthazar's proposal was met with a mix of skepticism and intrigue from the villagers. However, Naruto, always up for an adventure, approached him. What kind of quest are we talking about? Balthazar leaned in closer, his eyes gleaming with excitement. There is a hidden treasure said to hold immense power. Together, we could uncover its secrets and protect it from falling into the wrong hands. Sasuke, who had been observing the encounter with an unimpressed expression, chimed in. And how do you plan to accomplish that? With rubber chickens and flashy speeches? Balthazar grinned. Well, it's all about strategy. With your strength, my charisma, and a little creativity, we can make this happen. Sakura, unable to resist the absurdity of the situation, laughed. I can't believe we're considering teaming up with someone who uses rubber chickens as weapons. The alliance forms. Despite Sasuke's skepticism, Naruto saw potential in Balthazar's enthusiasm and charisma. Alright, I'm in. This sounds like fun. Plus, we could use some extra help with whatever comes our way. Sasuke crossed his arms, still dubious. Just don't get us into any more ridiculous situations. Balthazar clapped his hands together, beaming. Fantastic. Together, we shall make history. As the unlikely alliance began to form, Naruto and his friends prepared for their new adventure with Balthazar leading the charge. However, little did they know that another adversary was lurking in the shadows. The return of old foes. Meanwhile, the remnants of the Akatsuki, having regrouped after their defeat, were plotting their next move. This time, they were led by a cunning strategist named Seraphine, known for her ability to manipulate events to her advantage. Her presence brought a new level of tension and intrigue to the story. Seraphine addressed her gathered allies in a darkened hideout. The defeat of our leader was but a setback. This time, we will take a different approach. We will exploit their newfound alliances and use it against them. As she plotted her next move, Seraphine devised a plan to infiltrate the hidden leaf village by sending in disguised agents to create confusion and unrest. The encounter. Back in the village, Naruto and Balthazar had set out on their quest for treasure. They were joined by Sakura, Sasuke, and Kakashi, who kept a watchful eye on the peculiar new ally. During their adventure, Balthazar continued to regale them with tall tales of his supposed previous exploits. And when I single-handedly defeated the Dragon of Ashen Peaks, I did so with a brilliant performance and a dazzling display of charisma. Sakura, unable to contain her skepticism, interjected, So, you're saying you danced while fighting a dragon? Balthazar nodded enthusiastically. Precisely. It's all about showmanship. You must captivate your audience. As the group journeyed deeper into the forest in search of clues about the treasure, they encountered a series of traps and puzzles that Balthazar insisted on solving in his own peculiar way. Each solution involved a mix of slapstick comedy and improvisation that left Naruto and the others both entertained and baffled. The twist of fate. Just as they began to piece together clues about the treasure, the hidden agents from the Akatsuki launched their ambush. Naruto and his friends found themselves surrounded by foes who blended into the environment, their disguises making it difficult to identify friend from foe. Seraphine's voice echoed through the clearing. Did you really think it would be that easy? We will use your new ally against you. Naruto, caught off guard, exchanged worried glances with his friends. What do we do now? Balthazar, undeterred by the sudden turn of events, stepped forward with flair. Fear not. This is merely an opportunity for a grand performance. The battle ensues. What followed was a chaotic and humorous skirmish. Balthazar, with his unorthodox style, threw rubber chickens and other bizarre objects at the disguised Akatsuki members. The absurdity of the situation caused confusion among the enemies, leading to a series of comical mishaps. Naruto, fueled by determination and humor, joined the fray, launching energy blasts while cracking jokes. You guys are in for a real treat. Get ready for a taste of my Super Saiyan special. Sakura and Sasuke quickly adapted to the chaos, coordinating their attacks while managing to dodge Balthazar's erratic antics. Kakashi, ever the strategist, directed their movements, helping to isolate the Akatsuki agents. The conclusion of the encounter. As the battle escalated, Naruto and his friends managed to outmaneuver the Akatsuki agents, culminating in a climactic showdown. With Balthazar's eccentric strategies and the team's combined strength, they overcame the hidden threats. Once the dust settled, Naruto looked at Balthazar, a grin on his face. "You know, you're not half bad for someone who throws rubber chickens." Balthazar beamed. "Thank you. I aim to entertain as much as to defeat." With newfound respect and a sense of camaraderie, the group began to regroup and plan their next steps. The unexpected alliance had proven beneficial, and Naruto's relationships with these new characters were evolving into a blend of humor, teamwork, and friendship. As the sun set on the horizon, illuminating their path ahead, Naruto and his friends prepared for whatever new challenges awaited them, ready to face both allies and adversaries with courage, laughter, and unwavering determination. Chapter 24, A Day in the Life. The Hidden Leaf Village was bustling with its usual activity, the sun shining brightly on its cobbled streets. After days of intense training in high-stakes battles, Naruto and his friends decided to take a well-deserved break and experience a normal day in their beloved village. The day promised to be filled with humorous incidents and unexpected adventures. Morning mishaps. The day began with Naruto stumbling out of bed late, his room a complete mess of scattered ninja gear, empty ramen cups, and half-read manga. He groggily checked the time and realized he had overslept. "Not again!" Naruto exclaimed, rushing to get ready. "I'm going to miss the village festival if I don't hurry." He quickly threw on his ninja gear, only to discover he had put on his shirt backwards. In his rush, he didn't notice that his headband was askew or that he was still wearing one sock. He barreled out of his house, accidentally knocking over a vendor's cart filled with fish. The fish flew through the air, landing in a spectacular splash near a bewildered old lady. "Sorry!" Naruto shouted, sprinting away from the scene, his face red with embarrassment. A culinary challenge. Naruto met up with Sakura and Sasuke at the village square. Sakura had decided to treat everyone to breakfast, and they headed to the local ramen shop. Naruto was eagerly anticipating his favorite dish, but when the bowls arrived, he found that the shop had introduced a new, experimental flavor, spicy mystery ramen. Sakura, are you sure about this?" Naruto asked, eyeing the steaming bowl with suspicion. The bright red broth looked like it could set his taste buds on fire. Sakura, with a mischievous grin, replied, "It's supposed to be a local delicacy. Give it a try." Naruto took a big slurp, and his face instantly turned bright red. He sputtered, trying to cool his mouth with a large gulp of water, but it only made things worse. Sasuke, watching with a smirk, found it hard to stifle his laughter. Sakura, who had opted for a milder dish, couldn't help but laugh at Naruto's plight. "You should have seen your face. That's a new record for spiciness." Shopping shenanigans. Post-breakfast, the trio decided to go shopping for supplies. Their first stop was the market, where they encountered an enthusiastic vendor selling colorful but absurdly impractical clothing, like oversized hats with bells, flashy capes with built-in fireworks, and sandals with feathered decorations. "Look at this!" Naruto exclaimed, holding up a hat that was far too large for his head. "I look like a walking circus." Sakura tried on a cape that sparkled with every movement, and Sasuke donned a pair of sandals that jingled with each step. The three friends took turns modeling the ridiculous attire, drawing amused glances and chuckles from the other villagers. Unexpected visitors. Later in the day, as Naruto and his friends were enjoying some downtime at the village park, they were joined by a group of new allies. These included a comical, flamboyant warrior from another dimension named Zephyr, who had a knack for getting into outrageous situations, and a mysterious, calm individual named Elara, who spoke in cryptic riddles. Zephyr immediately began showcasing his bizarre, over-the-top battle techniques, which were as entertaining as they were impractical. "Watch this," Zephyr announced, performing a dance-like maneuver that involved spinning around while brandishing a large, feathered spear. Ilara, meanwhile, offered enigmatic advice that only seemed to add to the confusion. "The path to enlightenment is often paved with marshmallows," she said solemnly, while holding up a bag of marshmallows. Naruto and his friends found themselves caught between Zephyr's theatrical displays and Ilara's cryptic wisdom, leading to a series of amusing interactions. Zephyr's dramatic entrances and exits, combined with Ilara's puzzling comments, provided endless entertainment for Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. Afternoon antics. As the afternoon rolled in, Naruto decided to host an impromptu picnic at the park. The group spread out a large blanket and shared various snacks, including a few homemade treats. Naruto attempted to impress his friends with his super-secret recipe, only for the dish to be a soggy mess due to his experimental cooking techniques. Sakura and Sasuke took turns playfully teasing Naruto about his culinary skills, while Zephyr tried to salvage the situation with his over-the-top flair, attempting to perform a culinary revival dance, much to everyone's amusement. A sunset reflection. As the sun began to set, casting a warm, golden hue over the village, the group gathered for a quiet moment of reflection. They watched the sky change colors and shared stories of their recent adventures, laughter ringing through the air. Ilara, breaking her usual cryptic demeanor, offered a rare smile. "Even in the midst of chaos, moments like these remind us of what we fight for." Naruto, feeling a sense of contentment, nodded in agreement. "Yeah, it's days like this that make everything worth it." The day ended with the group parting ways, each feeling refreshed and ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. Naruto, as he headed home, couldn't help but smile, knowing that despite the intense battles and ongoing threats, he had friends who could bring humor and lightness into his life. As he drifted off to sleep, Naruto's dreams were filled with a mix of laughter, adventure, and the promise of new, unexpected encounters in the days to come. Chapter 25, The Prophecy Fulfilled. The Revelation. The Hidden Leaf Village was abuzz with anticipation. After the recent skirmishes and ongoing threats, a quiet but deep sense of curiosity and expectation hung in the air. Naruto, having just returned from a grueling training session, was summoned to the village's ancient library. Inside, the dusty tomes and scrolls seemed to whisper secrets of bygone eras. Sakura, Sasuke, and Kakashi were already there, gathered around a massive, ornate scroll that had just been unearthed. It depicted a golden warrior surrounded by a swirling aura of power, a figure that unmistakably resembled Naruto in his Super Saiyan form. "This scroll," Kakashi began, adjusting his forehead protector, "contains the prophecy of the legendary Super Saiyan. It's said to hold the key to your destiny, Naruto." Naruto's eyes widened. "A prophecy? What does it say?" The prophecy unveiled. As the scroll was unrolled, the ancient text and intricate illustrations were revealed. The prophecy spoke of a warrior destined to bring balance to the world, one who would harness immense power and confront a great darkness. Naruto's role was described as crucial, his journey marked by trials and tribulations that would ultimately lead to a new era of peace. "What does it all mean?" Naruto asked, scratching his head. "How does this help me figure out what I'm supposed to do?" Sasuke, examining the scroll, commented dryly, "It sounds like you're destined to play a major role in the world's future. But it's pretty vague. You're going to need to interpret it." The quest for understanding. Determined to get answers, Naruto set out on a quest to explore the deeper meaning behind the prophecy. He visited various scholars and sages, each offering their own interpretations, and encountered a variety of reactions, some serious, others hilariously offbeat. At one point, Naruto found himself at the foot of a mountain where a wise, eccentric sage lived. This sage, clad in a robe adorned with peculiar charms, greeted Naruto with a dramatic flourish. "Ah, the prophesied hero. Come, let us uncover the mysteries of your destiny." As the sage spoke in cryptic riddles and nonsensical metaphors, Naruto struggled to keep up, his patience tested by the sage's whimsical approach. "So, you're saying I need to balance my powers and use them wisely?" Naruto finally asked, trying to simplify the sage's elaborate explanation. The sage's eyes twinkled with mischief. "Precisely. Or perhaps I just enjoy watching you squirm. Either way, remember, balance is key." A moment of reflection. Returning to the village, Naruto shared his findings with his friends. They gathered in a cozy corner of the Hokage's office, where Naruto recounted his adventures with a mix of exasperation and amusement. "So, apparently, I need to balance my powers and use them to confront whatever darkness is coming," Naruto concluded, looking around at his friends. "But at least I got some interesting stories out of it." Sakura giggled. "Sounds like you had quite the adventure." Kakashi nodded. "The prophecy is important, but your actions and choices will ultimately shape your path." Sasuke, always the pragmatist, added, "Just remember, Naruto, you don't have to face everything alone. We're here to help." The prophecy's impact. The fulfillment of the prophecy became a source of inspiration for Naruto. He understood that while the path ahead was fraught with challenges, his role was to bring hope and balance. The mix of humor and profound moments helped him appreciate the gravity of his destiny without losing sight of his own unique spirit. As the sun set over the Hidden Leaf Village, Naruto looked out at the horizon with renewed determination. The prophecy had given him a sense of purpose, but it was his friends, his strength, and his unwavering resolve that would truly define his journey. Chapter 26, The Ultimate Test. The challenge begins. The sun hung high over the Hidden Leaf Village as Naruto stood at the entrance of an ancient, foreboding temple. The temple, hidden deep within a misty forest, was said to hold the ultimate test for those who wished to prove their worth. It was here that Naruto would face his final challenge, a trial designed to test both his strength and his character. Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke stood beside him, offering their encouragement. "This is it, Naruto," Kakashi said, his voice steady. "The ultimate test will push you to your limits. Remember, it's not just about your power but also your heart." Naruto nodded, his eyes focused. "I'm ready. Let's do this." The Temple Trials. As Naruto entered the temple, he was greeted by an eerie silence. The interior was vast, with dimly lit corridors and intricate carvings on the walls. A deep, rumbling voice echoed through the chamber. "Welcome, seeker of truth. To prove yourself, you must face 3 trials: strength, wisdom, and heart." The first trial, the trial of strength, was a physical challenge. Naruto found himself in an arena with massive stone golems and powerful traps. With his Saiyan strength, he smashed through the golems effortlessly, his movements a blur of energy and force. Despite the intensity of the battle, Naruto couldn't help but make a few jokes to lighten the mood. "Looks like these guys need a little more practice," Naruto quipped as he sent a golem flying with a well-placed kick. His friends watched from the sidelines, impressed by his combination of power and humor. The Trial of Wisdom. The second trial, the Trial of Wisdom, was a mental challenge. Naruto was presented with a series of complex puzzles and riddles, each more difficult than the last. The room was filled with shifting walls and hidden passages, designed to test his problem-solving skills. As Naruto worked through the puzzles, he found himself stumped by one particularly tricky riddle. Frustrated, he muttered to himself, "I thought this would be more about punching things, not playing mind games." Sakura's voice came through the communication device they had set up. "Remember, Naruto, it's about thinking outside the box. Sometimes the answer is simpler than it seems." Taking her advice to heart, Naruto looked at the riddle from a different perspective and solved it with a grin. "Thanks, Sakura. I guess it's not just about strength after all." The Trial of Heart. The final trial, the Trial of Heart, was the most challenging. Naruto entered a room where he was confronted with illusions of his greatest fears and regrets. The illusions mocked him, replaying moments of failure and loss. It was an emotional gauntlet designed to test his inner strength and resolve. Naruto faced the illusions head-on, confronting his fears with a mix of determination and humor. "You think you can scare me? I've faced worse than this," he shouted, dispelling the illusions with a powerful burst of energy. His friends' voices echoed in his mind, reminding him of their support and encouragement. The final illusion was a vision of his younger self, struggling and alone. Naruto approached the illusion with a soft smile. "I've come a long way since then. I'm not alone anymore. I have my friends, my village, and my own strength." The final test completed. With the illusions vanquished, the temple's walls began to glow, and the deep voice resonated once more. "Congratulations, Naruto Uzumaki. You have passed the ultimate test. Your strength, wisdom, and heart have proven you worthy." Naruto emerged from the temple, his friends greeting him with cheers and applause. Kakashi clapped him on the back. "You did it, Naruto. You've shown that you're not just a powerful warrior but a true hero." Sakura and Sasuke congratulated him, their faces filled with pride. "You've grown so much," Sakura said, her eyes shining. "We're all proud of you." Naruto smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment and gratitude. "Thanks, everyone. I couldn't have done it without you." A new beginning. As Naruto looked out over the village, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. The ultimate test had not only challenged him physically and mentally but had also deepened his understanding of himself and his role as a hero. With his friends by his side and his heart full of determination, Naruto was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The sun set over the Hidden Leaf Village, casting a warm glow over the land. Naruto's journey had come full circle, but he knew that new adventures awaited. With his friends, his strength, and his unwavering spirit, Naruto embraced the future with confidence and hope. Chapter 27, A New Beginning. The Aftermath. The Hidden Leaf Village was bustling with activity as the people celebrated their hard-won peace. The Akatsuki's threat had been neutralized, and Naruto's latest trial had proven his strength and character. Now, as the dust settled, Naruto and his friends gathered at the village's center, reflecting on their journey and looking forward to the future. Naruto stood atop the Hokage's office, overlooking the village with a sense of fulfillment. The familiar warmth of the village and the comforting sounds of everyday life were a welcome contrast to the chaos of recent events. Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke joined him, each bearing their own sense of accomplishment and anticipation. Future plans. "So, what's next for you, Naruto?" Kakashi asked, leaning casually against the railing. Naruto grinned, his eyes bright with enthusiasm. "I'm thinking of starting a new training program for the next generation. They'll need to be prepared for anything, and I want to make sure they're ready for whatever comes their way." Sakura nodded in agreement. "That's a great idea. You've learned so much and grown as a leader. Passing on your knowledge will be invaluable." Sasuke, who had been quietly observing, finally spoke. "I'm planning to travel and learn more about the world. There's still so much out there that I want to understand." Naruto's eyes sparkled with excitement. "That sounds amazing, Sasuke. I'd love to hear about your adventures when you come back. And don't worry, I'll make sure to keep the village in good shape while you're away." Reconnecting and rebuilding. As the day progressed, Naruto and his friends took time to reconnect with their loved ones and rebuild relationships that had been strained or neglected during their battles. Naruto spent time with his mentor Jiraiya, reminiscing about their past adventures and discussing the future. The two shared a heartfelt conversation, acknowledging the progress Naruto had made and the challenges that lay ahead. Meanwhile, Sakura and Sai worked together to revamp the village's medical facilities, aiming to improve the care available to their fellow villagers. Their collaboration was filled with humor and camaraderie, as they joked about their past missions and shared their hopes for the future. Sasuke visited the Uchiha compound, reconnecting with his family's legacy and planning how he would contribute to the village's development. His interactions with his clan's members were both poignant and humorous, as they discussed the changes that had occurred and the future they envisioned. New adventures. As the sun set, casting a golden hue over the village, Naruto and his friends gathered once more to celebrate their new beginnings. The village was alive with festivities, and the atmosphere was filled with laughter and joy. Naruto raised a toast to his friends and the future. Here's to new beginnings, to the adventures that await us, and to the strength and friendship that got us through everything. Let's make the most of every moment and face the future with the same courage and humor that carried us through the past. The celebration was a mix of heartfelt moments and light-hearted fun. Naruto's friends shared stories of their adventures, and Naruto's unique blend of humor and determination kept everyone entertained. The festivities were a fitting tribute to their journey and a hopeful look towards the future. Looking ahead. As the night drew to a close, Naruto stood alone for a moment, gazing up at the stars. He felt a deep sense of contentment and anticipation. The future was wide open, filled with possibilities and opportunities. With his friends by his side and his own inner strength guiding him, Naruto was ready to embrace whatever came next. The Hidden Leaf Village had faced many challenges, but it had emerged stronger and more united than ever. Naruto's journey was far from over, but he knew that with his friends, his village, and his unwavering spirit, he was ready to take on whatever the future had in store. And so, as the stars twinkled above and the village hummed with life, Naruto's adventure continued, one filled with new beginnings, uncharted paths, and the promise of countless new stories yet to be written. Chapter 28, The Reunion. A surprise gathering. The Hidden Leaf Village was abuzz with excitement as word spread of a special reunion event. Naruto, now settled into his new role and ready for a break from his intense training, had organized a gathering for old friends and allies from his past. The event was set in the village's main square, decorated with banners and lights, and filled with the aroma of delicious food from various stalls. As Naruto waited near the center of the square, he glanced around, eager to see who would be arriving. His heart raced with anticipation as familiar faces started to appear. It was a day for reconnections, laughter, and sharing stories of past adventures. Old friends arrive. The first to arrive were the Sand siblings, Gaara, Kankuro, and Temari. Gaara, now the Kazekage, was as stoic as ever, but there was a warmth in his eyes as he approached Naruto. Kankuro and Temari, on the other hand, were more animated, eagerly engaging in playful banter. "Hey, Naruto." Temari greeted with a wide grin. "I see you're still as energetic as ever." Naruto beamed at his old friend. "Of course. I wouldn't miss this for anything. It's been too long." Gaara nodded solemnly. "It's good to see you, Naruto. I heard about your recent challenges. You've done well." As they chatted, Lee and Guy appeared, bringing their trademark enthusiasm. Lee, clad in his green jumpsuit, performed a series of dramatic poses, while Guy, ever the cheerful mentor, gave Naruto a hearty pat on the back. "Yash! Naruto, my eternal rival, how has the path of youth treated you?" Guy's voice boomed. Naruto laughed. "Well, Guy-sensei, it's been quite the adventure. But I'm glad you could make it." Nostalgic moments. As the reunion continued, more familiar faces joined the gathering. Irika, the ever-supportive teacher, arrived with a warm smile, followed by Hinata, who approached with a shy but heartfelt greeting. Sakura and Sai, having been part of the planning, were already mingling with the guests. The interactions were filled with nostalgia as everyone reminisced about their past experiences. Naruto and his friends shared stories of their early missions, their training, and the adventures that had brought them closer together. Laughter filled the air as old jokes and anecdotes were recounted. Iruka and Kakashi engaged in a humorous debate about who had been the better teacher, with Naruto chiming in with his own amusing observations. Hinata and Sakura talked about their growth and their experiences since they last saw each other, while Sai and Kankuro discussed their artistic endeavors with a mix of humor and admiration. Unexpected visitors. As the evening progressed, an unexpected guest arrived, Orochimaru. The former villain, now a more subdued and less threatening figure, made his way to the gathering. His presence initially caused a stir, but Naruto greeted him with a surprisingly warm welcome. "Long time no see, Orochimaru. I didn't expect you to show up," Naruto said with a friendly grin. Orochimaru raised an eyebrow. "I was curious to see how things have changed. It seems I've missed quite a lot." Despite his past, Orochimaru's interactions were surprisingly pleasant. He engaged in conversations about scientific research and his observations of the village's progress. The group accepted his presence. And the mood remained light and respectful. Reflections and farewells. As the night drew to a close, the reunion became a time for reflections. Naruto stood with his friends, looking out at the gathered crowd. The event had been a success, filled with laughter, camaraderie, and heartfelt moments. "Thank you all for coming," Naruto said, his voice filled with genuine gratitude. "It's great to see everyone together like this. We've all come a long way, and I'm grateful for the role each of you has played in my journey." Everyone raised their glasses in a toast. To old friends, new beginnings, and the memories that bind us together. As the festivities wound down, Naruto and his friends exchanged heartfelt goodbyes. Each person left with a sense of closure and a renewed connection to their past. The reunion had not only celebrated their shared history but also reaffirmed the bonds that had been forged through their adventures. Looking forward. With the night sky as their backdrop, Naruto felt a deep sense of contentment. The reunion had been a reminder of the journey they had all shared and the growth they had experienced. As his friends departed, he looked forward to the future with hope and excitement, knowing that the bonds of friendship and the memories of the past would always be a part of his journey. The Hidden Leaf Village had come together to celebrate their shared history, and Naruto, standing amidst the echoes of laughter and nostalgia, felt ready to embrace whatever the future held. Chapter 29, Celebrating the Legacy. The Grand Celebration. The Hidden Leaf Village was in full celebration mode, with decorations adorning every street and a festive atmosphere that filled the air. Banners with images of Naruto in his Super Saiyan form fluttered proudly, and the village square was transformed into a grand party area. The event was a tribute to Naruto's incredible journey and his status as the legendary Super Saiyan. Naruto stood at the heart of the celebration, surrounded by his friends, allies, and villagers. The festivities included a variety of activities, food stalls, games, and performances, celebrating Naruto's achievements and the unity of the village. It was a day for honoring the hero who had become a symbol of hope and strength. Speeches and stories. The celebration kicked off with speeches from key figures. Iruka, Naruto's former teacher, was the first to speak. His voice was filled with pride as he recounted Naruto's growth from an orphan troublemaker to a legendary hero. "I remember when Naruto was just a young boy with a dream," Iruka began, his voice wavering slightly with emotion. "He was always determined, always pushing forward despite the odds. Today, we celebrate not just his incredible strength but his unwavering spirit and his impact on all of us." The crowd erupted in applause, and Naruto's cheeks flushed with embarrassment and happiness. Next up was Kakashi, who took the stage with his usual laid-back demeanor but with a sparkle of genuine admiration in his eyes. "Naruto has always been a bit of a troublemaker," Kakashi started with a chuckle. "But he's also proven that even the most unconventional paths can lead to greatness. His journey has inspired us all." Sakura and Sasuke also shared their thoughts. Sakura spoke about Naruto's ability to bring out the best in others, while Sasuke reflected on how Naruto's strength and perseverance had helped him grow as well. Their speeches were filled with humor, warmth, and a touch of nostalgia. Comedic moments. The celebration was not just about heartfelt speeches, it was also filled with light-hearted moments. Lee and Guy performed a humorous skit reenacting some of Naruto's most famous battles, with exaggerated antics and over-the-top performances that had everyone laughing. Naruto himself found himself the butt of many jokes, as his friends playfully teased him about his legendary status. Sai, for instance, created a series of exaggerated comic strips showcasing Naruto's adventures, turning them into hilarious and absurd stories. Even the Akatsuki members, who had been invited as a gesture of peace, joined in the festivities. Their attempts to blend in with the celebratory mood resulted in some funny and awkward interactions. It was clear that they had become part of the village's new normal, and their presence added an unexpected but entertaining twist to the celebration. Heartfelt tributes. As the evening approached, a special segment of the celebration was dedicated to personal tributes. Each of Naruto's friends had prepared a small gift or message to honor him. Sakura presented Naruto with a handcrafted book filled with memories and notes from their journey together. Sasuke gave Naruto a symbolic token representing their enduring bond. Hinata, with her usual shyness, approached Naruto with a delicate flower. "I wanted to give you this," she said softly. "It represents the growth and beauty that you've brought into all our lives." Naruto's eyes welled up with tears as he accepted the gifts and messages. He felt overwhelmed by the love and appreciation surrounding him. It was a moment of reflection and gratitude, recognizing the impact he had made on those he cared about. A promising future. As the night sky darkened, the celebration continued with a grand fireworks display. The colorful explosions lit up the sky, casting a warm glow over the village. Naruto stood with his friends, watching the fireworks with a sense of contentment. The celebration had not only honored Naruto's legacy but also highlighted the unity and strength of the Hidden Leaf Village. The party was a reminder of how far they had all come and the bright future that lay ahead. Naruto looked around at his friends and the village, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. He had faced numerous challenges, but through it all, he had built lasting connections and made a positive impact on the world. As the festivities came to a close, Naruto and his friends gathered for one last toast. "To the future," Naruto said, raising his glass. "To new adventures and to the bonds that make us stronger." The crowd joined in the toast, and the cheers of celebration echoed through the village. Naruto, surrounded by those he cherished most, felt a profound sense of accomplishment and hope for the future. The chapter of his legacy was celebrated, but he knew that the journey was far from over. There were new challenges to face and new horizons to explore, and he was ready to embrace them with the same determination and spirit that had brought him this far. Chapter 30, The Legend Continues. A Hero's Embrace. As dawn broke over the Hidden Leaf Village, the first light of the day illuminated a serene and peaceful scene. Naruto stood on the Hokage's tower, looking out over the village he had sworn to protect. The sense of accomplishment and responsibility weighed heavily on him, but it was a burden he carried with pride. His recent battles and the celebration had solidified his role as both a hero and a protector. The village, once filled with skepticism and doubt, now looked up to him with admiration and respect. Naruto had grown from the underdog he once was into a legendary figure whose strength and spirit had become symbols of hope and resilience. The new Hokage. The village council had officially appointed Naruto as the new Hokage. The ceremony had been emotional and meaningful, with many villagers and allies present to witness the transition. Naruto had accepted the title with a deep sense of honor and commitment, knowing the weight of the responsibilities it entailed. As the new Hokage, Naruto's office was now filled with paperwork and meetings. The transition from an adventurous hero to a leader was a significant change, but Naruto approached it with the same determination and enthusiasm that had defined his journey. He was committed to improving the village and ensuring the safety and prosperity of its people. Reflections and farewells. Naruto took time to reflect on his journey, reminiscing about the trials and triumphs that had shaped him. He visited old friends and mentors, sharing heartfelt goodbyes and expressions of gratitude. Iruka, Kakashi, Sakura, Sasuke, and others had been by his side throughout his journey, and their support had been invaluable. Iruka, his former teacher, offered one final piece of advice. Naruto, your journey is far from over. The world is vast, and new challenges will arise. But remember, you have the strength and wisdom to face whatever comes your way. Kakashi, with his typical calm demeanor, added, as Hokage, you'll face new responsibilities, but don't forget the bonds that brought you here. They'll be your greatest asset. New adventures await. With the village now in safe hands and his role as Hokage firmly established, Naruto looked forward to the future. He knew that while the major threats had been vanquished, the world was full of mysteries and adventures waiting to be discovered. As he walked through the village, Naruto felt a renewed sense of purpose. He was ready to embrace the new challenges that lay ahead, both as a leader and as a hero. The village was peaceful for now, but Naruto knew that peace was a fleeting treasure, and he would always be prepared to defend it. Gathering of friends. Naruto gathered his closest friends for one last meeting before embarking on his new duties. The group included Sakura, Sasuke, Hinata, Lee, and a few others who had played significant roles in his journey. They reminisced about their shared adventures and looked ahead to future possibilities. Sasuke, ever the pragmatic one, raised a toast. To Naruto, the legendary Super Saiyan and our beloved Hokage. May your leadership bring prosperity to the village and may our friendships endure. Everyone joined in the toast, celebrating the bonds they had forged and the future they were about to embrace. The camaraderie and warmth of the gathering were a testament to the enduring strength of their relationships. The legend lives on. As the sun set over the Hidden Leaf Village, casting a warm glow across the landscape, Naruto stood atop the Hokage's tower once more. He gazed out over the village, feeling a deep connection to the land and its people. The legend of the Super Saiyan would live on, not just in stories and celebrations, but in the spirit of the village and its people. Naruto had come a long way from his early days as an orphan ninja with a dream. He had faced formidable challenges, forged lasting friendships, and become a symbol of hope and resilience. His journey was a testament to the power of perseverance and the impact of a hero who never gave up. With a determined smile, Naruto turned away from the horizon and walked back into the tower. The path ahead was filled with promise and potential, and he was ready to face it with the same courage and heart that had defined his legendary journey. As he closed the door behind him, Naruto knew that the legend of the Super Saiyan would continue to inspire and guide him. The story of his adventures might have reached a satisfying conclusion, but the legend would live on, carried by the promise of new adventures and the enduring spirit of a true hero.